I have a great idea.
We're recording, by the way.
So we need to get some like official like like maybe like polo shirts made that say Keeping Tabs Media Incorporated.
LLC.
Whatever. Keeping Tabs Media, and like have media on there for sure.
That's quite literally the name of our company.
Is it Keeping Tabs Media?
LLC.
But yeah, we need like actual emblems, and then we could probably get into places for free. If we just look professional enough, like if I had a camera and you had like a little mic, we're like, oh, we're doing interviews.
Where are these headphones?
Dude,
not attached to anything.
Just like dragging on the ground.
Yeah.
Because like when we were at the Nuggets parade,
Yeah.
if we looked a little official, we could have got places.
Probably.
You know, especially if you went up to like a security guard and you're like, I really like what you guys are doing in here, but there's some people that are trying to sneak in. We really need to make sure they're not getting in. So just keep your eye out for people who are trying to pull a fast one on you, okay?
Smart.
And then boom, pull a fast one on them.
There you go.
Yeah. Just gaslight them.
So welcome to the podcast, Graham, Andrew. We're not going to have you introduce ourselves like we do with normal guests because you're not reputable human beings, but we do appreciate you coming on.
Not super reputable.
Yeah.
You guys got specialties, special stuff.
Yeah.
What's your specialty?
What's your specialty, Graham?
Specialty as far as...
What your specialty, baby? Like if you had
hand job.
Why would someone invite you onto a podcast?
Because I'm Asian.
Okay, so this is our token Asian friend.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What's that like?
Yeah.
It's cool. A lot of racism, but you know, it's cool.
Yeah, dude.
Graham specializes in racism and sarcasm.
Yeah, he's pretty good at both.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and shit in his pants.
No. That's Andrew.
that's me.
That's like all of us.
I was stoked. I made it all
35.
of last year without shitting my
36.
pants. I thought I might have 2 years in. I made it to like February like 13th or something.
I don't ever shit my pants. I just get really close, and then
You never have like a little...
No. Like, I get like to the point where I'm like, I barely made it to the toilet.
Okay, so that's your talent. That's why you're on, is because most people in those situations would shit their pants. You don't.
No.
Yeah.
Some people will let a little bit like slip out. Just,
Yeah, like you in high school?
cool
dude,
sports.
just happens.
Yeah. I'm not going to do any embarrassing stories, but and please introduce yourself. What brings you to the podcast?
My name is Hong Chol Kim.
What's your specialty?
Well,
Gonzo flips?
That, and I was adopted at a very young age.
By
A nice white family.
A nice white family. They gave me heart surgery themselves. Okay. Not at a hospital or anything. They did it themselves.
Yeah.
It's pretty standard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Most white people can just do that.
Yeah.
And then they gave me some sisters.
That's really sweet.
Okay.
That's cool.
They gave them to you.
Did they buy them too?
Like, here you go. Here's
I
your
don't
sisters.
know the whole story on that.
Well, they bought Graham. And then
When you get
they bought
adopted,
her.
is it a purchase?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to
it's a
pay
purchase,
money,
Yeah.
and that goes to who does
So
that
they
go
technically
to?
bought him.
Yeah.
Yeah, who does the money go to? Korea?
I don't know.
Like to the state of
a good
Korea,
question.
or country of Korea? Does it go to like the mom? Does it,
the adoption agency, and
Agencies?
then they probably split it with like the state, maybe.
or did they use it to get other kids to America to get money? Is it a
Nonprofit?
money making endeavor? Adoption?
I don't know.
I really know nothing about it.
Start
I've known you for
popping
like,
out. Start pooping out kids and.
when did we meet?
Before first grade. I can't do math, so
It's a long time.
How old are you guys? What grade?
7? How old are you in first grade? 7?
first grade.
6,
so
7, 7?
How old's Yeah, so 7. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So
Says
28, 29 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was cool. We used to do some shit.
Yeah.
We used to get into some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Graham-
Soccer and
Soccer.
stuff.
We were telling Andrew earlier, we got in trouble in 3rd grade
honk
because of the word it.
Yeah.
Like doing it.
Yeah,
Doing it.
it was
Yeah.
sex.
I
Guys,
could
that's
just-
not what it
I
means.
could
Then you
see
just
it.
laugh even harder.
I could definitely see it. They haven't changed.
Yeah. No,
It's
not
still
still,
amazing.
it's still
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's like farting.
Yeah.
Farting is just always funny.
yeah, and then it's like, it never wasn't funny, but there's times when it's funnier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the first time you like let one rip around a chick and it smells, and she's just like,
Yeah.
"Ew, gross."
Yeah.
And
But
then
it is a
and then
nice feeling when you get that screw it moment. I'm gonna let it rip finally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, sometimes you're like, "Fuck it, I've been holding them in for
Like it's been 3.5 months. Like we gotta see if this chick's about it.
I was gonna say it's funny, like when you rip it in front of them, but you know when it's not funny.
when they do it."
Yes.
It's disgusting. They shouldn't do that.
Horrific.
Yeah,
Like
that's-
just hold it in.
yeah.
I don't care if
Like,
it takes
come on,
30
I could
years.
go my whole life without that.
Yeah.
It's not feminine at all.
And they smell extra bad because they hold them in so much. It's like, it's kind of actually fucked up.
They do so much damage to their internal organs by holding it in so
Yeah.
much that when they do fart, it's
and now
horrific.
it's too late. So now you just have to keep holding them.
Yeah.
Because you can't let those kind of demons out.
But that's like a special talent though. Like Have you ever tried to hold your fart?
It sucks.
It hurts.
Get a stomachache.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
But you hold your shit.
No.
What's the difference?
No, like if
Asking the expert.
no, like if I have to shit, I'm finding
It's as soon as
place.
possible.
Yeah, like
yes.
sometimes like back when it was worse, I would have to like map out like after I ate, like I know where the closest bathroom at the gas station is, so I can go take a shit if I have to.
When we
Or
used to,
which gas station has the nicest?
Yeah,
bathroom.
exactly. Or like where to go shit.
well, when we used to drink all the time,
yeah.
I had all the bathrooms marked downtown. Like,
Daughters.
dude, because it was nobody was ever in
Yeah.
there, and it was a nice bathroom with
Huge doors.
huge doors and stalls,
Yeah.
and the locks worked, and it was private. You could just go rip in there.
And nobody ever went to
knew.
that fucking bar.
Nobody knew.
Zanzibar was pretty nice too, though, because I've definitely taken.
I've ripped in there a few
Yeah.
times, but I never wanted to.
Yeah.
It was just like
Sounds
I had to
great.
go.
Well, it was like the Nuggets game. Like I ate and I was like, I hope to God I don't have to shit. And
Bro.
then it happened. But luckily we were like the first people in, so I was like, cool, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick, so it's before everyone fucking pees all over the place.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've only ever
Yeah.
had to do it once.
No, that was at the Lakers game. Remember when we both had that?
Yeah.
At the playoffs.
yeah.
yeah, at the beginning of the game, the bathrooms were
Yeah.
kind of nice. By the end, it's
Yeah,
just
it's
like
just like-
drunk piss
yeah.
everywhere.
Maybe at Ball Arena, but at Coors Field, no way, Jose. You were not shitting at Coors Field. Nobody is.
I don't think I've ever done
What have you had? What
Have you ever seen those bathrooms? Like
There's, dude. If I've
just-
been there, I probably pooped there, and I've been there. I've,
Oh,
I've had.
man.
I can't think
I
of
just feel
like a
bad for you.
particular poop there, but if I've been there, I've probably pooped there. Because once you commit,
you have to hover there
because there's a long time.
Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to hover.
You have a point in your life, right, before you're like, when you're like, I'm too cool to shit in public. But once you open that Pandora's box, it's actually pretty liberating because then you're just like, I'll shit wherever.
Yeah,
Not
but
me.
there's
I've
still
always
some.
had that.
You guys,
I shit wherever.
dude, I think I told this on a different episode, but I was coming back from Texas and I was talking to Adam on the phone. I was like, dude, I gotta go. He's like, well, I'm like, I'm gonna shit my pants. And I'm just driving. I have no idea where I am. It's just like somewhere between Austin and Colorado. I just like pull onto a county road. I like pull over. I don't have toilet paper or anything. And I just like, I'm like sitting on the side of the door and I'm
Yeah.
not kidding, the biggest shit of my life.
Yeah.
It was so satisfying. It was like this big. And then I like found some paper towels. I wiped. I go pass out for a minute because my stomach hurt so bad. I woke back up, took another shit the exact same size, nailed it right on top of it. It was actually pretty impressive. Go back out. I pass out. Next thing I know, I'm like waking up to like lights. It's cops. And they're like shining their lights. And I like roll down my window. I'm like, careful, guys. I'm like, there's like a giant shit right there. And they're like, what the fuck? And they're like, or how many drugs are you on? I'm like, dude, I'm not. I'm just sick. And I really was just sick. Obviously, don't have any drugs on me. I've been sober for a while.
Middle of nowhere, Texas.
They don't believe me. Like, can we search your car? I don't have anything in the car, but like, you still want them to search? And I'm like, I'd rather you guys not. And they're like, if you don't have anything in there, just be faster. And I'm like, fine. The cop searches it for a while. I'm talking to the other cop. He's like, you all right? And I just make up a lie. I'm like, I have Crohn's disease. Sometimes that just happens. Perfect lie. The cop goes, our sergeant has Crohn's disease. Their whole demeanor just changes. The one guy goes, dude, there's nothing in here but empty Pepto bottles, which we were like months old, but they were just in there. I was like, you got to leave those in there. So yeah. That happened.
Yeah.
And then they made me clean it up, bro, and there's no trash can. So I just have it like in a plastic bag and it smells so bad. And I'm just like driving like window down trying to get to a gas station so I can throw my poop away.
Nice.
No.
Yeah.
You threw your poop away in a trash can.
I threw my.
At a-
What else was I supposed to do? I guess I could have found a dumpster, but
Yeah, you go.
I'm
gotta
road
go for the
tripping. It's like, at
dumpster,
this
man.
point, it's like 2 in the
There's
morning.
actual humans that have to clean your shit out of their garbage can.
I get it, you know.
Man,
But
you're
is
a
it?
terrible person.
I have Crohn's disease, dude. So it's just
You don't. That's a lie you made up.
Maybe I might have Crohn's,
Graham might have Crohn's.
dude. As much as I poop, what is Crohn's disease? I don't even really know what it is.
It's
something with
basically
poop, right?
the like your intestines. The inside of your intestines are like twisting, or like it. That's how I had it explained to me because I've dated a girl that had Crohn's disease.
Did
I
she
have
fart in
no
front of you all the
idea,
time?
To be honest.
Did she have stomach issues? Was she always pooping?
Yeah, flatulence was crazy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did it smell good?
no,
Not one.
it smelled like disease.
Is that why you broke up with her?
Yeah,
I had a girlfriend cry because she was like sick one night and she was I'm not saying her name. She was farting in the bed and I was like, what the? I like told her, I was like, I'm gonna go sleep on the couch. She's like, really? Like it smelled so I couldn't like. It was like worse than like a dog fart. It was like that smell of a
bad.
dog fart. But you know, dog farts don't linger that long. Here's like real bad and then they kind of like dissipate. These were not dissipating.
it's like your birth
Staying in
high
the
school.
covers, and she was all angry at me. She went and got blasted drunk and didn't talk to me for 3 days after that. So you can guess which one it is based upon that.
Oh yeah. This
She just got super drunk and sent me weird cryptic texts and then would turn her phone off.
This coming from the guy who has regularly pissed the bed with girls.
Yeah. But I owned
Kyle
it.
just
Regularly.
pees on people. Kyle
Yeah,
just
but I
pees on
owned it
people.
at least. I wasn't like
It's not
mad.
just
I wasn't
girls.
mad
Shit
at
on me.
I wasn't mad at them
You wanted it though. You asked
for not wanting to sleep in the piss bed. When they're like, I'm going to get out of the piss bed, I'm like, I get it. It's weird to sleep in your own piss, much less my piss, and you don't even know who I am because we just met.
Didn't you have like a threesome and something? Or
I don't know what happened, dude. It was my birthday. I think it was my 21st birthday. I think it was my 21st birthday, and I went home. One of the girls' names was Easy P, like Easy E, Easy P. And so I went home, and the other one, I'm not going to say her name because that's their actual name. They were gross. They were pretty gross. But they were down, with what I was representing, what I was handing out. They were into it. And we went back to their house, and then I had to, dude, they live so far away, and then I had to call, I called Josh and Stephanie to come pick me up. They're like, where are you? And I'm like, you have to come get me. And they're like right now, I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I pissed this girl's bed. She won't leave me in her house. So now I'm at her work with like my piss pants.
Was that when you were at Cody and Blaine's?
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I left Cody and Blaine's. Like, we had a kegger for my birthday or something. And then I left with these two chicks. And it was like way down south, like Arapahoe Road and something, which at the time, like,
Emporia Street?
Dude, it was Peoria.
1/2 mile east of I-25.
Yeah. It wasn't good.
Colorado natives will get that reference.
I never saw them again. Actually, I ran into one of them like years later. And she's like, "Here's the dude that pissed in my bed that one." I was like, "I'll do it again."
Did you see what I sent you earlier today?
So I didn't finish it, which is just a dude that
was on the Rogan podcast. So there was a guy that Joe Rogan had on his podcast, right? He just got like not exonerated. He like was in prison for 26 years.
Reformed, right? They're like, oh,
Yeah.
he's reformed. He's changed. We can let him out.
And the whole point of this podcast was to say we need criminal justice reform. And the guy was just like, yeah, I got put in jail for robbing these dudes for 26 years. It's like super unjust. And that's just the way the criminal justice system is. And the guy he's with is his lawyer, Josh Rubin or something like that. Josh Dubin.
Yeah, they run like a program to help get criminals lesser sentences, correct?
Right. And they don't like recidivism, and they don't like people just going right back into the system. So they're trying to help reform the system. And so he has this guy on the Joe Rogan podcast to kind of like tell his story and really like promote this, right? A couple weeks later, now it comes out that he just like, since he's been out of prison for 6 months, he killed a dude and stuffed him in his freezer and like chopped up.
Cut his head off, dude. They found his torso.
Yeah, or was it his torso?
I think I kept seeing something about torso, headless torso, maybe.
I think I saw a head, like, or it might have been a torso.
It was either headless torso. There was either the head was removed,
and he had cement mix in his.
He was getting ready to
encase it in cement and like
dump it
off a bridge. Yeah, dude. So it's like,
like that doesn't seem the
Holy
best way
shit,
to get
bro.
rid of a body.
it didn't seem like the best way to like get criminal justice reform enacted.
Yeah,
but
one failed.
But you also have to remember though, like these people have been in prison for like 20 plus years. It becomes like norm, and then when they get out, they just don't know what to do, and then they go back to what they were doing before.
But he was
cutting people's bodies.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
You got to ask the question: what did the guy in the freezer do?
That's what I was getting
Yeah,
at.
true.
Maybe he was a bad man.
But he probably was. But it's just like,
Was it the lawyer?
it's hard. It was the district attorney.
Maybe the guy was in his freezer for 26 years.
Maybe he
killed him
found the
before.
freezer. Maybe he found the
He's like, I killed
freezer
that guy
and he's
30
like, oh,
years
shit.
ago.
I gotta
Before I
get
went
rid
to
of
prison.
this.
I don't kill them anymore. I was a long time ago.
If that was the same apartment, maybe. Because this is so damning. Apparently, when they were like taking him in, he was like, "I'm innocent. I'm innocent." They're like, if you found a body,
Yeah.
or like body parts in that freezer right there.
Can we look?
Sure. I mean, not wait until tomorrow, but yeah.
Let me get ready. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
That's damning.
I mean, it's not hilarious. That's sad. But it's really
Set the movement back. Sorry.
It's just like you do that, and then like instantly, like, what do you do? Like your brain just goes into like survival mode, and it's like, how do I get rid of this body? Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Cement. Like what? That's crazy.
Yeah, but I wonder how long it had been.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it had been in there for a minute, and he's like, I'll get around to that.
Yeah.
Because
He's like, I got some other bodies to cut up first.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste a whole bucket with just one torso. I should probably add as many in there.
Because it was probably like an emotional thing. Because he was talking about how much he dislikes. Because if you hear his stories, he's like, he disrespected me. So I went and like pistol whipped him and robbed him and shit like that. So it's just like he doesn't like disrespect, and he's very emotional. So he's probably just
A sociopath, man.
True.
It's just like, it just is what it is. There's some that are violent and some that are less violent, but
less violent.
they're socio. They don't care.
But if you spend that amount of time in prison, how reformed can you be?
Sure.
A lot of people go to prison and learn how to be better criminals.
100%. And you actually do need criminal justice reform. I do agree with that. It's just
But not probably
sad.
not for violent crimes. I mean, I guess maybe his crime wasn't that violent, but he's probably done other
pistol
violent
whipped
crimes
somebody.
before. Like, if it's a drug charge, like drug trafficking and stuff like that, and they hadn't had a like history of violent offensive, yeah, let's maybe try to get them out.
Well,
But,
you
like,
got
this
to look
person,
at what they went through in the system though too. Did they get raped? Were they in a gang? Did they get the shit kicked out of them at all times? Like
how much trauma was inflicted?
How much trauma was inflicted during their stay? So
those are questions, I guess, that those programs really need to do a better job asking and answering. It just, I mean, 6 months, it didn't take him long at all before he's just like, he's probably been plotting that for 26 years.
Yeah, like I said, though, when you go to prison, you're stuck there, and then you get out, like, what do you go back, you regress back to where you were before you got out of prison most of the time? Or when you go to
I think it just depends on the person. Like, if you're a really good person who just is wrongfully convicted, or you did something that's not that, like, you sold drugs, and then you ended up in for a long time because the drug laws are fucked up in some places, you probably can't wait to get out. And when you get out, you probably tell yourself,
you probably sell drugs.
The last time I went to jail, this is an embarrassing story, but I went to jail. I was only in there for like 24 hours, and I told myself when I was in there, I was like, I don't ever want to be in here again. And since then, I don't think I've done anything that would warrant jail time.
But that's 24 hours, though. Imagine 20 years, and then your brain just...
You get used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it. But then when you get
to living a certain way of life.
But then you get out, and then your brain goes back to... It's like almost like the people that...
It's like Shawshank Redemption, right? What's his name? What was his name?
There has to be a reacclimation period. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The one that
Brooks?
Brooks
is that what it is? Brooks was here. Yeah, he hangs himself. He
gets
out of prison, and he's like, this sucks.
So it's like when people have trauma, they get stuck at that same age, so they can't grow up. Like certain people that have trauma at a certain age, they're stuck at the age and they can't grow up. It's almost the same thing when you go to prison for a crime like that. Your trauma... you inflict on other people, but it affects you too at some point. Right. And then you're just stuck at that age in that mental state. So it's hard to get out. That's what I believe.
You're absolutely right. And you see that a lot. I'd actually never made that connection.
Clearly, prison wasn't that bad for that guy.
Yeah.
He didn't hate it that bad.
Yeah.
He's like,
If he was willing to do that, he knew the implications of what he was going to do.
But there's like a food chain, though, in like prison probably. I'm guessing like child rape,
there's
rapists and stuff like that.
And there's... food chains of sorts. Yeah, of course.
So like if you went to prison for, for stealing whatever, but if you got like thrown in prison for raping a child, you're gonna have
much more time. You're gonna have to be segregated. Probably.
But there are certain probably like obviously rules. Like you got to hang out with your color of people, probably. Yeah. Right. I've never been.
Who do I hang out with?
You would
Asians.
You would hang out with the
Asians. They would hate me.
Yes, they would.
And there's probably like.
But you'd
have no choice.
That's who you would be.
We would have to hang out with the Mexicans.
We would have to. Yeah.
And like I don't even know, like you look Mexican. I don't look Mexican, so it's like I don't even know who I would hang out with.
I don't know who I'd hang out with.
The Jews.
The Jews. Yeah.
How many Jews are in prison? Bro?
Their cells have to be so nice. They have all the commissary.
They're the ones that own the prison.
Yeah.
We're the ones that are
they just pull you out and just like
you probably wouldn't go to prison.
Yeah.
Because you're white.
You should get
it's okay.
Like Attorney Goldenstein or something like that, and you just get off.
Here's your district attorney, Goldstein. Nice. Yeah. And we'd get like
shafted. Yeah. With a public defender.
You guys get a public defender that just graduated last month.
Dude, I got pulled over one time. The cop said sorry.
Oh, really?
He's like, I'm sorry. I was like, yeah, you should be.
Miles got pulled over once, and I got arrested.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're Mexican.
It's like,
what did you do, though?
I was in the back seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when
How dare you?
It's like when
I wasn't even in the front seat.
Andrew, it's like when we went to pull the e-brakes, and then I had that great idea, and then Andrew got in trouble by the cops.
I got yelled at. I didn't even do it.
I mean, to that point, like, yeah, there are some like racist cops, fucked up cops, but like my cousin's a cop. I went on a ride along, and I'm like, I made the connection. Like, they're just doing their job. It's like us. We just work our job.
It's like anything else, right? The bad seeds and the bad ones, they stick out so much more because the story, like that's what you're not going to hear the story about the cop that pulled over a bunch of people and just gave them a ticket and they left, and there was no, there's not like a cop in the hood pulling over a car, and there's probably all the time that happens. He just gives them a ticket for whatever or no ticket and they leave, but you don't hear about that.
Yeah,
you hear about the time the kids had a gun in the car and then the guns get pulled and then there's shots fired. You always hear the worst.
But it was
worst story.
But if you think about all the traffic stops that happen throughout any given day in the whole United States of America.
Yeah.
And then you hear about the only 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever goes bad.
Whatever one makes news for whatever
one's the worst.
Whatever agency is reporting on it.
Whichever one's the worst.
Because statistically, if you look at it, like police officers are actually, that job is like less dangerous than like lumberjack and like a bunch of other jobs you wouldn't even think. But it's only because the stories are so emotionally driven, right? So you hear about them and you're just like, oh my God, that must happen all the time. But it doesn't. It's just like
And
you
that-
just hear about
honestly,
every single
and
one.
that's more of a referendum on the media than it is like the actual institutions of. Like, yeah, the police could be better.
Well, the media
They
is
need
going to push
more
it
money
more
than
if it's
but the
if
media
somebody of
exactly
color.
or just whatever narrative they're trying to
Yeah.
push. Because if you're trying to push a narrative, you can find a story to back it.
And well, the reason why they push narratives is because it drives ratings. So it's really people. It's like you can blame the media or you can blame people for tuning
Well,
into
is the
that
chicken
bullshit.
or the egg? Is it the media
But it's like-
telling us to be triggered by this, or is that stuff we're actually? 'Cause I wonder that with my own like algorithm. Like, why is it showing me this? Does it want me to know this, or is this actually like what I want to see?
It's just
Because-
it's what you spend the most time looking at. So it's like if this is going to keep him on the platform and give us more advertising revenue, then we're going to try
And
to do it.
I can only speak for myself. I don't know about you guys, but my algorithm changes like periodically throughout my life based upon how I'm feeling. When you're depressed and sad, it will be more depressed and sad. When you're happy, it's just like golden retrievers doing cool stuff.
Yeah,
You
mine's
know, when I'm
mine's-
horny, it's
mine-
just like a bunch of hot chicks like half naked.
Probably all Rams.
No, mine's all just fucked up shit because we have that group chat in Instagram and we just send like the most fucked up shit. And I'm like trying to watch it at work. I'm like, yep, skip that one because that was like,
I don't.
You don't even see the shit I send Kyle. It's been getting worse too. Lately, I've just been sending him the most horrific like accidents.
Because
like
he knows
a
I hate like a skateboard. Like if a guy
geez.
like hyperextends his knee or something,
snaps his leg or something.
makes
or
me
like,
sick, like physically ill.
Yeah, so I'm like trying to find more to send to him. So,
But the problem is sometimes they're dope shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, ooh, what is this snowboarder doing? And I'm like, oh, he died. Oh, that's a dead person. That's how a person died. Okay, cool.
it's 50-50 though. I try to make sure half of it is just the cool.
Well, because once you start over, like if you start weighting it too much one way, I'm gonna.
Adam,
Just not look at it.
I think Kyle has ADHD because we just went from cops to Instagram algorithms and then just
bro
disappeared.
That's every one of our conversations. Yeah, you get used to it.
You know what? I didn't even see a problem with
Cats.
it because I have ADD too.
Yeah, I've
ADHD.
just gotten so used to it, it doesn't bother me.
But no, but
anymore.
going
Yeah.
back though, like I just want to ask all of us a question. Do all of us hate cops? Like, do you guys hate cops?
No,
No,
Okay,
I'm indifferent.
so like
It's pretty
but-
neutral.
I don't like the ones that are bad at their job.
Yeah,
For sure.
but in general, we're all pretty responsible now. We're all a part of.
Civilized society.
Yeah, exactly. The ones that hate cops are the ones that are not like us, as to where we're
Or they're
responsible and
criminals.
stuff like that.
I like the idea of a police force.
I think there
but-
needs to
yeah.
be.
But there
more,
needs to be more training for
there
sure.
needs to be a lot more.
We talk about
like,
this all the time.
But
Not only
no,
just training, but just
no, just
you got to learn.
just ask yourself though. So, say you're a cop, you go knock on some random car window because you pulled them over. I'd be shitting my pants every time. Am I gonna fucking make it out of this, or am I gonna be
Right.
dead? Like that's
you
so
also
scary.
Have to look at what a rational person with like a really strong moral compass would want to do with being a cop. What incentive do they have? I'm gonna go make how many money a year? $50K a year? That's not very many money.
But do they do like personality tests? Because I feel like they need to start doing that if you're gonna go into the
no,
force.
they need to vet them more.
There-
on
there-
that
but
end of
there's
it,
not
besides,
enough money.
like,
That's what I'm
There's
saying.
not
There's
enough
not enough
money
money,
and
and then
funding.
there's also like
You can't tell me there's not.
you have to think the
not.
people who want to become cops the way that a cop is currently with what they get paid and what they have to do. Most people who are skilled enough to do that job
We're gonna go do something.
are going to go do something else.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're
Well,
just going to
here's
have
the-
a bunch
here's-
of people that are
But like back
probably
a lot
angry and bitter and have maybe been picked on, like,
But like back
and
in
now
the,
it's their chance to get back at the people who wronged them.
back in the day though, it was always about like, oh, he was the bully in high school or he was the jock in high school. Like the media needs to change that and say, hey, cops aren't just always that type of person, because we always made jokes like, oh, he was probably like a jock in high school and picked on people.
There's a poem.
Like make it more, I don't know, meaningful.
And that basically is just pay them more,
Yeah.
honestly. But
That's
like,
what I mean.
There's
You
a
need
poem.
you need to incentivize
I feel
good
like a
people
lot
to
of-
do the job.
Yeah.
I feel like
And
a
that's
lot of
not by
people
defunding them.
become
exactly.
police officers because they do max out so quick on their pay.
Sure.
And if you look at what it takes to be a cop, because I have before, because I've had interest in it, but I would say my interest was more financial.
Andrew, don't-
because
Andrew-
you max out after 5 years or something.
So
that's when you max out your salary, and then you get to retire at 20.
So there's no incentive for you to go be a cop, right? So if the only people applying at the police academies are like
For financial gain.
like bullies with a propensity for violence or ex-football players who weren't good enough to make it in college,
who
then the
wrote
only
that?
people...
Who wrote that poem?
Jared Paul. And so the only people that are going to be applying are people, bullies with a propensity for violence and like high school football players that weren't good enough to make it in college. Like those are going to be the only people that apply if you don't provide an incentive for more qualified people to...
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they're...
Like even my cousin who was like, look, man, like I pull people over and then like if they're cool and nice, like I'll most likely give them a warning. But half of the time people, you know, they see me and then they're just like, oh, he's a fucking, you know, cop. He's an asshole. Fuck this guy. I'm
And
gonna
that
give him an
sucks too,
attitude.
because that does suck. Because
like-
when I have an interaction with the cop, I'm generally going to be a little bit,
Defenses are going to be up for both parties.
I'm not though. I'm like, hey, yeah, I may have been speaking sorry about that, officer. Like I take ownership for my action. Like
I read how to get out of tickets. Like it was like a post that cop even wrote.
Step one, be white.
Step two,
Step two, have boobs.
Be accountable for what you're doing. If you're speeding, like own it, but have a noble reason for why you're doing the thing you're doing. Like, oh my God, I have Crohn's disease. I was about to shit my pants.
It's almost like it's like,
Every dude over the age of 25 is like, if I know how
This
that
Crohn's
feels.
disease thing. I like the whole the bees approach.
What's that?
When you just stop.
Oh, the
out.
bees.
Yeah,
the
bees.
what was it? Tommy Boy. Yeah.
Tommy Boy. Bees. You just get out, start yelling bees.
I don't want to get stung.
I like the D's approach.
these nuts.
Yeah. Stop talking about maxing out. You have a rich guy comes up to you and he's like, I'm going to give you $500 every time you can come into this cup. How many times could you jerk off in a day? $500 a pop. How much money are you making?
I'm making that.
Like legitimately.
How hungover am I? Because if I'm real hungover, I can do it like 10 times.
Is it Adam now or Adam 10 years ago?
Right now.
Is this
right now? This is a challenge.
Right now?
You have to start tomorrow. It starts at midnight. You get 24 hours. You have to jizz. You have to come as many
Like
times.
how
as
much
you can.
cum though per
Just
per,
Does it just have to be a drop?
You have to have an orgasm.
like an,
It has
an
to be
orgasm?
like
Well, you stop coming a lot after like one or two.
But like you have to
it's
like, but
there's
you
something comes out. Some little.
do you have someone to help you or is it just yourself?
No, just you.
Do you have the internet?
You have the internet.
of course.
Okay.
no,
legitimately.
you guys probably like two because you guys have ADHD. You'll be like, oh shit.
Yeah,
why?
but $500 a pop, dude. Or
$500.
But after a while, it fucking hurts.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like how many times? I mean, because it's $500. That's a pretty good. You could make
We have all the proper equipment.
I mean,
whatever you need.
Anything we need.
You're in your safe space.
Yeah.
Whatever that is to you.
They give
If it's
you-
I'd make
candlelight,
$500.
Silk sheets.
No.
Desperate times call for some new measures. You might need some. You might have to switch it up a
You can-
little bit
no,
because
you can have a
like if
partner,
you've watched
you can have a
porn too many
partner.
times in like a short brief time, you have
Or
to go a
just
little bit
yourself.
deeper.
Yeah, you have to go deeper
You have to go a little
in the
deeper
hole.
into the
rabbit hole.
The rabbit hole of like what's available.
What do you think, Graham?
well,
How much
I
are you
mean,
making?
you know, Asia's overpopulated, right? I got it.
Legit.
Graham's getting rich. Graham's getting rich for sure.
I can make $6,000.
Yeah, probably like 6.
I think I could. I think I could get 12.
I was gonna
out.
say 4. I can make $4,000.
I think I could get 12 out.
But after a while,
So
though,
it's a G per. How much
That's
is it?
500 per.
500 per.
I think I could get 12 out.
In 24 hours?
24 hours.
Fuck.
can you guys do math? I
You
don't know.
just every 2 hours because I think there's refractory, right? Like I remember enough about like anatomy and psychology. There's like a refractory time, and that's different for everybody. But I'm thinking 2 hours.
I'm thinking 10 times.
All right. Well, let's say it's sex.
5K.
Let's say it's sex.
Oh.
That-
Only
well, but-
3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
because
because because your dick gets numb and you're just like.
You think
don't-
sex would be harder? Than
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I feel like
I mean, there's so much physical
If you could
exertion.
have, if you have both of them, maybe.
And like I don't
on
know
and
if I
off.
can watch a woman be disappointed that many times in a row. Like the mental trauma of that would be, that'd be brutal.
Yeah, but if we're just like doing it ourselves, 5K, 10 times.
10 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done 10 times though, but for like
I probably hit 6.
Financial
at a certain
incentive?
point, you will not want to do
Yeah.
it.
No,
Dude, I've been hungover a few
you-
times where like I wanted to die, and that was the only thing that may have kept me alive.
Oh,
where it's
yeah.
just like you could not maybe in like an hour you could watch porn again, and you can get through this hangover. And I don't believe in God, but I've spoke to him before hungover. Like, listen, dude, you get me through this hangover. Whatever it takes, I'll even stop watching porn.
And then he
let me watch porn now. I'll get through this, and then I won't drink again.
And he says, okay. And he just makes you extra horny. He's like, this will get you through the day. Like, thanks, God. It's weird.
Way to go.
Did you guys know
Appreciate it,
watching porn is bad for you? Bad
Yeah,
for
I'm
you?
retarded, dude. I don't think I can. I try not to watch. I like try to abstain. I can make it. I think I did like 6 days.
Back in the day, like when you would like search like, you know, porn and stuff, it was just pictures and you'd have to wait for it to download and stuff. So I'd like print them off at like my mom's office and then like go up to my room. And then one time my mom was like, "Graham, whose are these?" And I was like, "I'm holding for Kyle."
That's why your mom hated everybody, dude, because you would blame all your bullshit on your friends.
No, she just hated you because you were.
Every time I got in trouble, Andrew was there.
Yeah. Every time we got in trouble was because we were all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're teenagers.
No, and then you were the like the most irresponsible friend back then. No offense. You know,
why would I take offense to that? That's great.
It wasn't that you were irresponsible. You also had like a car somehow.
Yeah.
You always just had a car somehow.
It was pretty cool how I got that car.
The Taurus?
Yeah.
How'd you get that car?
So I got my permit. My mom taught me how to drive. And then once I was confident driving, so after about 3 or 4 times, I just took her car. Started driving it, and she wouldn't have a way to leave the house, so she just bought a new car.
Dude, that's such a classic Andrew story.
It really is.
Classic.
You know what's funny though? To this day, if I see a gray Taurus, I'm just like, I just like laugh.
Me too. That is a core memory for everybody.
I'm gonna be really sad when those are just no longer on the road because eventually they're just.
And then
you bet your ass I'm gonna have
Andrew,
one. Get it fully restored.
Dude, do it.
How long did you drive it without the power steering? I remember we went out and you were just like you're driving. You're just like, ugh.
let's just put it this way: the motor went out also.
Dude,
and then when I got the car back, the power steering was fixed.
Do you remember
with the motor?
Do you remember when we got pulled over for throwing trash out the window? We would always play the bottle game and try to hit the signs.
That's a fun. You know what? That's a fun fucking game, though.
Dude, we used to blast the sign over by your house with those Frappuccino bottles that we took from your garage.
Dude, my mom had the best fridge.
Dude, it was your house was the coolest. You had gushers,
dude, everything.
Fruit by the foot. You had all the snacks. That's why your teeth suck.
And I'm addicted to sugar still. I'm like, why am I addicted to sugar? My mom would just, dude, it was loaded with. It was always like Kirkland drink. It was never Gatorade. Like they wouldn't splurge on the Gatorade, but the Kirkland drink was okay. And then like the Frappuccino Starbucks drinks.
Yeah, they splurged on those.
And those were not cheap, probably.
Those were not
mustache.
cheap. They're still not cheap.
Kool-Aid mustache.
You did have a Kool-Aid mustache.
I still do.
No.
It's
You
under there,
had
you can't
peanut
see
butter
it.
in your hair, and you had like gold stuff
like
on your
jelly.
eyelashes
Dude,
for some reason.
I was a catch, man.
What was the gold stuff in your eyelashes?
Just sleep, like you know when you sleep real hard and like you get like the little like boogers in your eyes. And
Why were yours gold?
they were just green?
Just green boogers.
Are you Midas?
I don't know.
What is
Maybe
that?
I'm an alchemist. Maybe I have the secret recipe to fucking create gold. Nobody can figure it out. I figured it out.
The old.
They should study me.
What'd you have? The best haircut in high school was
You know what?
The mullet.
the mullet, comb over, mohawk,
which became
all 3 of
popular
them.
like 10 years after that. People started doing it, like hipsters started doing it, ironically, unironically.
The mullet was
I
cool.
was like, I already did that.
That thing was.
I already got super stoned in my basement and did that. You know what's so funny? The day I cut that, somebody had snitched on me for smoking weed, like one of my
I remember.
friend's parents. And so I come out of my mom's basement, like nobody's supposed to be coming home. My parents come home to give me like some intervention. I got that haircut, stoned as fuck in the basement like 10 minutes later, and they're like, we think you're smoking weed. I'm like, no, they're lying, dude. They're haters.
With this big ridiculous mullet because you were so
Just
small
so
and
high,
the mullet
dude.
was so big.
You know, it's like hilarious with my friends, but then you go in public and people are like, who let Joe Dirt's kid, like what's going on here?
Look like Joe.
But that was before.
They're all over
There
the
is-
place
yeah.
now.
Yeah,
All
now
the
they're
little kids
cool.
have mullets.
Yeah, it's like fucking.
Or
it's
the
in,
Edgar.
baby.
Yeah, the Edgar.
The Edgar, Braden, my nephew has an Edgar.
You pointed out the Edgar at the Nuggets game yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, there was probably a ton of them.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
I don't understand how people think that looks good.
It's the worst haircut
but
I've ever
Fucking
seen.
toadstool, dude.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's just a
You,
bowl cut
you look
with a
like
fade.
Toad from
Yeah.
freaking Mario Brothers.
Yeah, but think about like when we were in high school though, like they had like the weirdest haircuts too, and I'm like, what the fuck is?
And the thing is
Yeah.
the Edgar is like, it's kind of representative of like a hood lifestyle, I
Yeah.
think. And it's funny. I sent you that video where it's like a bunch of like 18-year-old kids with Edgars like mean mugging this dude, but they all just look so ridiculous. I'm like, I don't think I could be scared. If a gang of them ran up on me, I'd just be like,
Well, it's like
Right. Did we look like that
Oh,
to
yeah.
the older
Oh, yeah.
generation?
Yeah.
too?
Oh, yeah.
100%.
That
And then
sucks.
What did we do? What did we like?
We're
remember the haircuts
skateboarders,
you
dude.
had, Graham? Me and Graham would like
The bowl cuts?
No, remember when like you would shave this part and you would have just bangs?
Oh yeah.
And then we would dye ours like
Yeah,
What?
and then like
you did that,
dude.
Yeah.
We would
You did
dye
that?
them
Yeah.
in middle school,
Yeah.
like 7th, 8th grade,
Oh,
and we would dye them.
no.
We would dye
Yeah.
them like yellow and orange and blue.
Yeah.
They would actually look kind of
Just
cool.
the bangs?
Yeah.
Dude, that's all the haircut was. It was a
That's
shaved
such a
head.
Mexican
No,
haircut,
no.
dude.
It was
That is
Andrew. That's
such
what
a
the,
Mexican
like, the girls
haircut.
like that shit though, because the problem is you come to school and like a couple of hot chicks would be like, "Oh, your guys' hair is cool," and once they said that,
Yeah,
it's in
you're
your
cool.
head that I have to do this forever.
No,
now.
it was like Adams, but like if you just grew the bangs out taller and you just like it's like the duck bill.
Well, yeah, I did
almost.
that too, but I laid it flat and then it went up in the front. Like I just combed the front up. I didn't shave my head.
It wasn't shaved. It was
wasn't
just
shaved,
like
yeah.
really
Okay.
low,
Yeah.
not shaved.
Yeah.
Like
Gotcha.
probably like a 4.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I thought you meant like completely
It was-
shaved with.
It was
like,
cool
just
though because with
bangs
a
on the
haircut
front.
you could do it yourself.
It was back before we did
And our
like
parents
the,
would just like buy us the hair dye.
Yeah.
That was a terrible decision.
Yeah.
I was a blue-haired liberal before it was cool to be.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. Middle school was
Yeah,
God, middle school was interesting. That's like the weirdest time.
It is.
Like the beginning of high school too, but middle school.
Well, because half of the kids are
Every
going through
year I
puberty,
look-
like haven't gone through puberty, and then half like
Yeah.
didn't like you didn't go through puberty until like 10th
Senior
grade.
year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Or
I was
11th
way
grade or some
past
shit.
10th
Yeah.
grade.
So it's like middle school. There were kids that didn't go through puberty. There were kids who were going through puberty, and
That's
there
like
were kids who had
senior
already
year,
gone
yeah.
through puberty. Like Josh had already gone through puberty. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
Well, and it was like I had a different look. Like I was a different person probably 7 times in middle school.
Yeah.
Like I was like a skater, but then I was like goth. There was a time where I had all black hair with black spikes, and I would wear like I probably like 3 shirts. It was like Corn, Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, and then that was back in the day when you used to draw corn pictures. Like you draw like the
I could draw 'em sick,
Yeah,
though.
you
I
draw
used to
like
draw-
the
You know, the funniest thing
Cover.
is your sister one time I drew like a really cool Pokemon. And it was I was like probably 12. It was like a good drawing and I spent time on it. And I'd given it to her.
Yeah,
and she was like 6 years younger or 7 years younger. She took it to her school and said she drew it. And they're like, we have a prodigy on our hands.
No, but funny to
She
find
could-
out
she
though,
got
she's-
good drawing,
No,
probably.
she's like really good at like art. Like
Yeah, but
it's crazy.
I take credit for that. I probably inspired her.
Maybe.
Did it have any evolutions? Or was
I
it
can't
just the
remember.
one? Okay.
Dude, I wish I knew where my Pokemons were. I have no idea.
I still have some of mine,
I don't know where mine are. I went rummaging through my dad's house. Couldn't find them.
but a lot of ours though were they're so like bent up and like used that they're probably not worth it.
I had nice ones though. I had like nice Charizards in like those fucking packs.
Yeah,
Especially in
But-
in 8th grade, they were like really popular.
but there's so many different grades, so
You
you
do
have to have like
Pokemon thing,
a perfect one.
Dude,
to-
I had
yeah, I don't know. I would just like to see if I had
Yeah.
any, but were worth money.
I had a whole book full of them with like a ton of rare cards. Like I would order them online and like go to the store to get like these like super weird packs. And then once it wasn't cool to have Pokemon anymore, I like pawned it off on my sister, and now she's got them all, and they're probably worth like a
Does she
good
still
amount
have
of
'em?
money. Yeah, she was like asking me. She's like, "Can I sell these like 3 for like $350?" It was like 3 cards, and I was like, save them, like use them later when they're worth more.
If they will be worth more. You never
no,
know.
I mean
Pokemon's big
no,
again.
Yeah.
Pokemon's never going anywhere.
I don't
Like
think it's
that's just
ever
like
going away.
it's gonna be around.
It's
I used to
getting
have-
bigger and bigger
Yeah.
every day.
I had like a nice racket going on where, do you remember Biggs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The store
Yep,
Biggs?
yep.
Oh shit!
You remember that? There was a Pokemon store and I went in with a bunch
Yep.
of cards one time to sell. And the guy was like, can you get more of these? And I was like, yeah, I go to school with a bunch of like rich kids who have all these cards. And he's like, bring me these. Here's how much I'll pay you for each card. He told me how much he would pay me for each one. And then I would go trade a bunch of bullshit cards for like these nicer ones from like, because the kids like just, parents would just buy them stuff. Like we lived in nice neighborhoods. Like my parents would buy me some stuff, but some kids would just get like new skateboards every day. Some kids would just get new skateboards every time they break one.
Anytime.
I got a lot of skateboards.
Anytime. You didn't even break a skateboard in your whole skateboarding career, and you.
I cracked
always
a couple.
did.
Like,
You tried.
I couldn't
Crack.
snap them.
Yeah.
This man would break them over his head.
Yeah,
and
over
you
his
would
head.
not even break them off a test.
Oh,
stick.
and Adam in Rage is it's a sight to see.
You know
when
what?
when he's like full blown mad at himself and it's just like self inflicted pain. It like
headbutting
it's
the
funny for a
skateboard.
second, and then all of a sudden you're like, he's gonna hurt him.
yeah. Mhm. Like,
What's the worst self inflicted injury you've ever had?
It might have been. It was probably a skateboard thing because
Whacking it on your
No,
head or something.
one time I saw him
whacking
take,
it
like
on your head and then punching it into the street?
no, one time I saw Adam take the skateboard trucks to the head. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?"
Yeah.
Like I get like maybe like the
What trick
the
couldn't
board
you do?
side.
Did you split yourself or did you?
It was a hard flip.
Couldn't get a hard flip.
I'm good.
pop shove
I always hit hard flips.
I can never do them. I think I hit my nuts one time on hard flip.
Hard flips are
Done with those.
Dude, so I tried to do a hard flip the last time I tried to do a hard flip.
When you threw your shoulder up?
Dude, we were at Denver
Pop shove
Skate
it?
Park, and I tried to do so I was trying to do the hard flip, pop shove it, right? And I'm with Kyle and Josh, and I throw it, and like same thing that happened at Commerce City Skate Park. I throw it out of the socket, and we're just, like we had just shown up. We're like gonna go somewhere for like Josh's birthday or something like that afterwards. We stop at Denver Skate Park and throw it out of the socket, and I'm just like, we gotta go to the hospital, like so much pain. And Josh comes up to me, he goes, dude, I got you. He goes, because he's in jiu-jitsu, so he's just like, I can pop it back into place. And I was like, no, you fucking can't. We're going to the hospital. Let's go now. I'm in so much pain. He goes, no, dude, trust me. I've done this before. I'm in jiu-jitsu. And I'm just like, I know he's lying, but he is in jiu-jitsu and he's probably seen injuries. And I'm like, maybe he knows what he's doing. And he's just so fucking insistent. And I'm like,
Very confident.
all right, go ahead and do it, dude. And he's just like, and so he's like, I'm in so much pain, by the way. A dislocated
When he
shoulder.
grabbed your
fucking
arm,
crazy.
the way he was like feeling around, I'm like, oh, he kind of knows.
He knows what he's
He was
doing.
like-
So he's like touching it and grabbing it, and he's just like, okay. And I'm just like, and he goes, okay, you ready? I go, uh-huh. And he just yanks on it. He didn't do anything like technical. He just goes like this. And I just go, ah, it's like the worst pain of my life. And he apparently, like I heard this later, he looks over at Kyle and he goes, like, it was bad. Worth the shot. And like, so he like tore the shit out of my labrum. I had gotten an MRI on this shoulder earlier, and they're like, yeah, you probably need surgery on it. So I had surgery on it later, like the next year or something like that. And he goes, yeah, I went in and it was so much worse than it was when we got the MRI. We're not sure why. We must have missed something. And I was just like, yeah.
no,
Fucking Josh, dude.
I threw it out and then made it 10 times worse.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing I've ever did was, I don't think any of you guys were with me, but you remember that big, that gap over by Vans, but it was like the sidewalk, and then it was like the rocks,
so.
and then the
Yeah, we used to go skate that like with Spencer, right? We'd go skate that with that Spencer kid.
So I was trying to kickflip it one time, and Brian Laster was there, and I don't think any of you guys were there, but I go try to kickflip it, so I try to get as much speed as I can, hit a little pebble, board shifts, I fall, obviously, try to catch myself. These two fingers right here just
I remember you had
end up back here. And
I remember.
And
that.
someone has a video of it because we were videotaping.
It was actually videotaped.
Yeah,
it was actually on
so,
tape.
And I go up to Brian and I'm like, "Hey, Brian, pull my fingers." And he's like, he looks at me. He's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Pull my fingers," because they were back here.
So he pulls it, he farts.
So he pulls them, and I'm like, "All right, see you guys." And I literally drive myself to the hospital. I'm like, "All right, see you guys." Like to this day, I'm like, how the hell did I drive myself to the hospital?
Dude, let's go skate.
Not much pain.
Dude, Kyle fucking drove me to the hospital when I dislocated it at Commerce City.
Yeah.
We're all skating together. He drives me to the hospital. My vision
In your car, I
in my
remember,
car.
yeah.
My vision's narrowing because I'm in so much pain. The dislocated shoulder's gnarly. We get there. We had planned to go like out drinking later that night, and we get there, and he's just like, okay, I'm going to need you to give you some drugs so that I can relax you enough to pop it back into place. And I go, because he was like kind of trying to feel it. He was like, you're too tense. He's like, I need to give you drugs. And I was just like, if you gave me the drugs, could I go out like later tonight to like party? And he goes, it's kind of a night ender. Like that's his exact words. And I was just like, okay, I'm relaxed. Go ahead and do it. And he goes, no, we have to give you the drugs. I go, I'm good.
We got drinking.
And he was just like, how? It's like a miracle. He's so relaxed. So he's like, pops it back into place. And we went out and drank.
Priorities.
Oh my
It's how you
God.
relax Adam. Is it by giving him drugs?
Yeah.
It's by taking the prospect of drugs away. That's how you get him to relax.
Alcohol's
Wait, hold
not
on.
a
Don't get drugs.
It was alcohol.
Alcohol's not
Yeah,
a drug.
alcohol's not a drug.
I love when people say that.
Yeah.
It's not a drug. It's alcohol.
Definitely
Yeah,
drugs.
it's
Okay.
definitely a drug.
I've done a lot of
Definitely.
drugs. I've done alcohol. That's a drug.
I think
yeah.
alcohol is probably worse
It's way
than
worse.
like
It's way worse,
any other hard
Dude, it's
drug.
the most
Somebody who's
addictive drug
done-
out there.
Yeah,
Most of the drugs that you can do, alcohol is.
the worst.
I've never done meth,
It's
and I've never done fentanyl.
either meth or
Those
alcohol.
might be worse.
Nah, fentanyl's like more lethal, but it's not worse. It doesn't make you do crazier. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not worse for
I'm just
society.
gonna go to bed. On meth, you're like, well, I can't sleep. I need more meth.
Yeah.
I have no money. Let's start coming up with ideas.
Catalytic converters looking real juicy right
Yeah.
now.
When we talk about police, like that's like, I couldn't believe it the other day. So there's a Scientology church right down there. I'm telling you guys, they were protesting it. Scientology is cool. It's like, yeah, everybody knows, but like, who gives a fuck? Like, that's what you're worried about in society is the Scientologists. Like, they're the ones that are causing all your problems.
There was a protest.
It just seems like such a waste of time to protest the Church of Scientology.
There's a Palestine protest like going on like right now. I think.
We should go.
Next time you see him, you should tell him to go to Clearwater, Florida, and then protest there because that's like the capital
Of the Scientology?
Yeah, of Scientology.
I've been to Clearwater.
Like that's like the biggest They have like basically the whole thing of Clearwater is basically Scientologists.
What if they're right? What if the Scientologists are the ones that are right?
I'm surprised the water is clear and not red since they're drinking the Kool-Aid.
Nice. I would drink. I would be in a cult, but I would know that I was in a cult.
Yeah.
I would just be there for like, this seems kind of fun.
I think you would be the leader of a cult.
Dude, I've been watching a lot of documentaries and taking notes. I could figure it out. No, I could.
I could see it.
I'm just thinking like 10 years ago, I feel like
He's very
you would have been
convincing.
susceptible to being in a cult. I feel like.
But it's like, for me, it would have been like knowingly, right? It's like willful ignorance.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not a cult. And secretly, I'm like, I'm just sleeping on shit.
I'm just here for the hot chicks. Yeah.
Like, if there's sex involved, I'm in. Sex, we're eating, we're just hanging out in the woods, like, we're not working. That doesn't sound so bad.
Because I feel like that's how it starts.
But
right?
I would get bored
every
eventually.
time.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
I need something new.
You're too ADHD. You're just like, yeah, this is boring.
I'd be a cult leader that'd have like a successful cult, and then one day, like, where'd he go? I'm just like back in
You're just
Colorado,
done.
just like
You're
hanging out.
You're like,
Oh yeah, I'm done with that.
guess what I did
Wait,
the last
well-
couple years?
What was all that like? Your God shit? I'm like, probably not.
Changed my mind.
Probably not.
Maybe not.
You know what? I had a dream last night. Change of heart. See you guys later.
There's some hot chick in Denver that wanted to hang out. I had to go. She didn't like cold, so I have to become whoever she wants me to become. Just gonna mold into whatever she wants me to be.
Such is life.
You gotta do what you gotta do. You know,
Yeah.
the pursuit of happiness. That's what it's all about. Is that what life is? The pursuit of happiness? See, that seems fucked up.
Why?
The movie with Will Smith.
Didn't like that one.
What? That was a great movie.
No.
That was a great movie.
Yeah. What do you
When
think?
he's walking out at the end, just
Yeah, but that was
dude.
that was Will Smith's like last good movie before he became Jada's bitch.
well,
Cuck
Yeah,
Smith.
Cuck Smith. Yeah.
yeah.
He
Poor
turned
guy.
into a cuck quick.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Like, how did he's an ENFP. No, his character in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that was an ENFP. I was looking at like ENFP stuff the other day.
That makes sense.
He's an ENFP.
Have you seen 7 Pounds?
7 Pounds is pretty
It's a
good.
great movie.
It's pretty good.
Best Will Smith movie.
Maybe that's what that one guy was trying to do when he
Hitch.
chopped the other guy up. Is he was just like doing a 7 pounds just with the other guy's body.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like give him the benefit of the doubt.
That was a good movie. I like 7 Pounds. I'm trying to think what other Will Smith movie I really like.
The
I Am
gambling one.
Legend is a good
I Am
one.
Legend was a good one.
The gambling one's cool.
Focus.
Yeah, Focus was
That was
cool.
I haven't seen that
was
one.
cool.
It's okay.
good.
Margot Robbie's in it. So
Yeah,
I
it's
could-
good.
I'd watch it again. She's hot.
Love Margaret.
But Bad Boys
You don't
2.
usually like blonde chicks.
No, I don't. She's like
Bad
the
Boys
exception.
1.
She's phenomenal.
She's hot.
Uh,
In Wolf of Wall Street, like that
I,
scene
Robot was
when he's
dope,
like
too.
crawling on the ground to her and she's in like her gutter pants. That's
Yeah.
about as hot as a woman can get.
it's the best. Men in Black is a classic.
Yeah.
Men in Black's good.
Yeah.
Will Smith he's good flicks.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is good.
Classic.
That was such a good show.
It was.
Uncle Phil, Carlton,
R.I.P.
he died.
Yeah.
Carlton still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Smith's a cuck.
Yeah.
Cuck Smith.
Cook Smith.
All right, here's a fuck, marry, kill. Jada Pinkett Smith,
Oh God.
Lauren Boebert.
Who's that? I don't know.
Who is that?
Who is that?
You guys don't know who Lauren Boebert is?
No, I don't. Can you pull up a picture?
You'd like her.
Well, pull up a picture.
See if you found it on my phone.
My dad got disappointed in me about
don't
the
know how to
fuck
spell
Mary
Lauren.
Kill. He goes, I liked your podcast, but as a Christian man,
What was?
Did you inform him that you weren't going to fuck, marry, or kill any of those women?
What was? What
he's
was
just
the
like,
name?
you need to marry
Lauren Boebert.
You just need to marry one and live your life with her. Go to the church every Sunday. Have 2 children. Tithe. Give money to the church. Give money to charity.
So
All right, Jada Pinkett
Awful.
Smith, Michelle Obama. Give me one more. Who's insufferable?
I don't know.
Insufferable.
Like maybe Cardi B. You got those 3 to choose from. You got Cardi B, Jada Pinkett Smith, Michelle Obama. Fuck, marry, kill.
I'd marry Michelle Obama.
Really?
Yeah, she's rich.
How do you know? I think your husband's rich.
That makes her rich.
So is Cardi B.
Yeah, but Cardi B's annoying as
She
fuck.
seems obnoxious.
I'd probably fuck Cardi B and then kill Jada
Pinkett
Yeah,
Smith.
Jada.
Jada's dying.
That's
sure.
the only possible answer,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Jada is just so
Yeah,
annoying.
because if you do any other, you're a cuck
Yeah.
by proxy.
You know Michelle Obama's just nice though.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna be attracted to her, but yeah,
Hmm.
should be nice.
I mean, she's been married to a gay guy for a long time. He's not gay. He just likes to have sex with dudes.
So
Probably, maybe.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be any
Probably,
different
maybe.
if she married Graham, right?
Right. That doesn't make you gay.
No.
It's only gay if you like love them.
It's only gay if you
Sex
make
is
eye
sex.
contact.
Even then, it's like, you know, you want to make sure they're not enjoying it.
Is it honest? Yeah.
Hey, you all right down there? Look at me.
Hey, don't smile.
Don't enjoy this.
how come they were all black, Kyle?
I don't see color. Cardi B's not black.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, she's Puerto Rican.
It's different.
It is very different.
Is she full?
That
They
makes me
think
racist.
that they say the N word. So
Because the funny part is
If they
that
have
so
the
do, like, so
past.
do some Mexicans.
she and Nicki
Yeah.
Minaj are like the same skin tone, but they're like one's black, one's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're like the same.
All right,
person,
I got one.
essentially.
Basically.
fuck, marry, kill for you.
All right.
All right. Me, Adam, Graham.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I'm for sure fucking me.
No, this is only for Kyle.
Ah, okay.
Damn, that's tough.
We're all just
I
like,
think I'm dead. I think I'm dead.
Can I fuck everybody?
Well, you can do. I mean,
Because if I marry him, I mean, there should be sex involved.
yeah, there's going to be sex involved with the one you marry.
And if I
mean,
kill you, it's not really up to you if I have sex with you.
I mean, are you going to like? Is it going to be a rape and then a murder?
What would you prefer?
Why do I have to be the one to die?
you can't,
I'm not even black.
You can't marry Andrew.
No, it's too
No.
bad with money.
No.
Yeah, you
The
can
two
either,
of us?
You can either fuck or kill him. You can't marry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Financially, that would just be devastating.
That'd be the worst.
him. Ruinous.
I think the same probably goes for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not much better with money.
Can't marry Kyle.
I think about it. I like.
I think
I look at my
together we'd
poker
be a
graph
power
sometimes.
couple. We'd spend
We'd
all
have-
the money.
yeah, no.
We'd get all the
We'd have
addictions.
so much money to spend.
Just doing nitrous all day.
Where's all our money? Just like 7 tanks of nitrous. That's
I understand that I have to die in this scenario. I knew that when I asked
No,
it.
you can get banged.
You could get banged.
You just can't get married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be a
All
terrible.
right, Kyle,
wife.
go.
You'd probably give me some aftercare. I need aftercare.
Yeah. He's,
like
you know he's nurturing.
yeah. I don't like. So probably Andrew. Probably fucking Andrew.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Who wants out of their misery? I'd probably kill Adam.
You're just doing him a favor.
He's doing you a
You're just
solid.
doing everybody a solid on that one.
Graham's got a solid job.
Graham will take
He's already-
care
he's
of
already
you
shown
too.
that he can-
He will give you some money to
Yeah.
gamble.
He'll yell at me for
but
doing it wrong.
He will also cut you off
Seems fair.
Yeah.
Fair but honest.
Yeah, probably the most responsible one out of all of us.
with money.
All the structure.
Not money, but just as a whole. Like Adam's probably the most reliable or most responsible with money. He's the smartest one with money wise and numbers.
Nah, he's the smartest one, probably.
Hey Adam, what's
I would say intelligence-wise, Adam's above all of us.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Dude, he was a human calculator back in high school.
I would be blacked out drunk. And it's just, it was you. He's just
Yeah.
like, what's fucking 563 times 492? And like, I can't do it anymore, but I used to be
What
like,
is it, Adam? What is it?
Yeah, what is it?
I actually
What is
used
it?
to be able to do it. I can't anymore, dude. I
can
also
do
used to be able to
it.
What
smoke.
about 35 times 17?
See, I can't even do that anymore.
You could do it. You just got to go the long way around.
595?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I used to do it
You know,
fast.
I'm
though.
good
Like,
at those for.
He used to be
I used to be like
immediate.
this. It was weird.
I'm good at some of those for playing pot limit Omaha because you have to calculate the pot sometimes. And
Yeah.
It'll just be like a $35 bet times 6.
Yeah.
And you have to like kind of just do it quickly, and then you just find like little shortcuts and you remember. So
Right.
You just a lot of it's just memories.
When I was watching, like, a lot of the things I wanted to do when I was on cocaine, since I couldn't exactly go gamble real money, is I would watch people do it.
No way.
So yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I have a friend who
And-
loves to watch people play high limit slots.
Yeah, that's what I would watch.
He-
That's
what-
what,
dude,
that's what I would watch.
what? He's
That's
like-
what I would watch.
and then-
But
So I
and then
stuff-
these guys would win like 675 times 25 credits. So I started getting good at
like figured out how
calculating
much
like
the math
that.
was.
You know,
what's hilarious? My buddy
hilarious.
Sam likes it, and he's like watching them play certain games. He's like, because the bonus is so cool. And
Yeah,
they
like
have the
pinball.
same game in Black Hawk.
That's how
and
I found
he
that.
convinces me to put $500 in. I haven't put money in a slot machine in maybe $20 my entire life.
Yeah.
He convinces me to put $500 in it. I just push the button. Nothing happens. My 500,
lose 500.
my 500 is gone. He goes, trust me, put another 500 in. I'm like, fuck. All right, fine. I put 500 in.
Yeah.
Gone. And he's like, yeah, usually something cool happens. That's just like, that was like, I've lost $1,000 gambling more times than I can count.
that was the fastest.
It was the most unpleasurable. Like if I played one hand of blackjack, got a 20, and then the dealer rolled over a 19 card 21, it would have been more enjoyable. At least I would have been like,
Two, one.
exciting. And then someone, I'm like, fuck, all right.
I don't know how people do slots, man. Like the handful of times I played slots, it was the exact same thing. Like I'll put in like $100 or something like that. I've done it like 3 times in my life. Put in $100, and then you're just watching it go down, and then you'll win 50 cents, and then you'll just lose the rest of it. And it's like, what was the point of that? Like, why would you sit there and just do that to yourself?
I have been up there with.
It keeps Vegas, and Vegas is almost 100% funded by like slot machines.
Why?
It's insane.
When we were going up back in the day
well,
a lot with Josh and Stephanie and everybody.
Maybe if you just play long enough.
Stephanie would literally go to a slot while we were playing the table game. She would come back 15 minutes later and she'd have like $2,000 every single time.
What?
Yeah.
And then what?
And then Josh would take it and gamble it. And then he'd take a leak in the parking lot afterwards and get arrested. We can cut that part though.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. I've been arrested for panhandling aggressively.
Did you really? Nice.
Maybe.
Where was that at? Down the road?
Somebody else at this table was also arrested.
Both of you. I remember this one. I remember this one. I remember this story.
I wonder who.
Graham, I can't believe you did that.
You know what? I would have been fine with getting arrested had they arrested us for like what we did, like drunken disorderly or like harassment. Like there was no panhandling happening. That was like the worst part. I had a job a while after that, Tile Kyle. I got the job selling tile for like a month, and I'd been working there for a couple weeks, and I was smoking a cigarette in the back with the boss, and he goes, "I gotta ask you, dude, what is aggressive panhandling?" And I'm like, "What the fuck?" That showed up. He's like, "It doesn't show up that you got arrested, but it shows up that you were, or that you got convicted, but it shows up that you got arrested for it." And I'm like, "Motherfuckers, like, were you panhandling aggressively?" And I'm like, "I was really drunk. I think." Something about money happened, but there was no like panhandling.
No, it was funny too because they were talking to us about it, and they're like, they were thinking we weren't going to be able to bail ourselves out because we were aggressively panhandling. We're like, we have a ton of cash.
I had like $600 bills in my wallet.
Good jobs, yeah. It was just like
multiple credit cards. Like, just use
Sorry, we're just drunk idiots.
No, they got the wrong.
Honestly,
guys.
it's Uber's fault.
They got the wrong guy.
Because I couldn't. My card wouldn't.
I'm pretty sure
there was somebody there
I don't think it was
aggressively
Uber.
panhandling.
No, it was Uber's fault.
Sure,
No,
I'm not going to take accountability for any of my guys.
It was the alcohol's fault.
No, it was Uber.
No,
if
alcohol.
Uber had just showed up.
I'm going to go with alcohol.
No, dude. Alcohol's never done anything wrong. I've never made one bad decision drunk. Ever.
Do you want to get drunk tonight?
Fuck no.
Why
Everything
not?
bad will happen.
Why?
There's girls I'm not talking to.
That you'll talk to.
They're going to hear from me.
They're going to hear from me.
Adam's going to reach out.
And it's not going to be like, "Hey, what's up?" It's going to be some weird, like, cryptic thing like, "I can't feel my hands anymore." You're going to be like...
He actually said something like that, dude. He showed me the next morning. He goes, "I don't know. Read this." I just started laughing. I go, "What does that mean?" He goes, "I don't know, man."
My hands don't feel like mine anymore. That was the text. My hands don't feel like my own anymore.
Apparently, it's a song I found out years later.
It was
no
a
context.
No
It was just he's just like I was
probably just drunk, heard that. I was like, that'll get her. One time.
Did it work?
Bro, I had this. I still have the book. It's upstairs. It's an Edgar Allan Poe book from like the Greeley Library or the Denver Library that somebody. I didn't check it out, but somebody gave it to me. It's Edgar Allan Poe. I once texted a girl. Texted back. I think this was like T9 texting. It wasn't even like a flip phone. It was like T9 texting. I texted a girl like an entire Edgar Allan poem, drunk. And she was just like, "What the fuck is this?" And she blocked me and called the cops. Fair enough. She did. I got a call from the cops like, "Are you harassing some young lady?" And I was like, "Well, I sent her an Edgar Allan Poe poem, but you don't understand. Like, it wasn't like a haiku. It was like a fucking epic, like Shakespearean length like poem. It was probably like 8 pages, and I was just drunk and texted out every fucking part of it. It was like, "This is a winner back."
Was this back when you couldn't do like it was all SMS and you had to just like send it little by little by little by little? So it was like 900 texts.
That's why it sent like harassing. She probably just woke up like, "I have 1,900 texts from Kyle. I wonder what these could be." 19. I'm sure she read like the first part. "Thou do not love me, Raven." And it wasn't even a good Edgar Allan poem. It was like some just shit. I was just like, "All right, this one looks good."
It's funny.
I should start drinking again. Why did I quit?
Graham, why don't you tell us about the times you've been arrested? Since all 3 of us have kindly told our stories about being arrested.
Yeah,
all the times.
Every single one of them.
What's your favorite? I have favorites.
Your most pleasurable time.
I've never been arrested actually. So
you've never been to jail?
Nope. Never been in jail.
You've been arrested.
Nope.
A cop is picked you up somewhere and
Detained?
taken you somewhere?
Nope. Never in handcuffs or
What about when
anything.
you broke all the signs at Tarver?
Nope. Never arrested because I was a kid. They went to my house, I think. Again, previous conversation, I don't remember from like senior year to like when I was a kid. Like I have very vague memories
You
of.
remember breaking all the signs?
Yeah, I remember that. But like I don't remember like a lot of things. Like
Were you by yourself?
No, I'm pretty sure I was with someone else. I just can't remember who. But
You just were like, I'm gonna break.
Hey,
No,
he
I
doesn't snitch. Look at that.
That's good.
I love
no,
it.
but I just get
No,
I,
he can't remember.
no. I just don't remember. Like I just don't have those memories.
You don't remember breaking? Like, why did you
No,
break the sign?
I remember breaking them. I don't remember why I broke them.
Breaking stuff was cool.
That's probably
Dude,
why he broke
but-
them.
I did some bad things.
No,
I used to break shit just to break shit when I was a kid.
yeah, I
the
did.
best, dude.
I broke some car windows.
No, I mean actually no. Actually,
You're a dick.
Yeah, it was.
we never got arrested. But
I was. I don't think I. The night I'm thinking of, I didn't break the windows, but the person I was with, we probably broke. So we were in a minivan, and we were driving around a neighborhood with the door wide open, and we had like these giant boulders, like big rocks, like this big,
Yeah.
like bowling ball size, like just in the van for some reason. And somebody was like, "You should throw that through a window." And the guy was like, "I'm not gonna say who it was." We just drove by and just, boom. I mean, it was like hilarious and cool. And then immediately I was like, "That sucks."
so the actually going back, actually the
Thinking
worst.
of all the car times like bad things have happened to me, I'm like, it's karma. I don't believe in karma, but then bad things like things happen that like things that I did, and I'm like, fuck, who would do this? I'm like,
Yeah,
I know exactly who
I
did it.
definitely have those feelings in my
It's
life
hard.
too.
It's hard not to believe in
Yeah.
karma.
Yeah. I mean, it's
like
weird,
I've had a
being
car broken
father,
into and
too.
stuff stolen, and I'm like, fucking, who does that? And I'm like, there was a time in my life where like I would just be like 16, walking around neighborhoods at night, going into cars and stealing stuff.
Oh yeah,
I hate that about myself, but like, I did it.
I've definitely
It wasn't-
got
it
enough
wasn't
stuff
about-
stolen from me.
You know
too,
what's weird looking
because
back? It's
I've
not-
had my karma because I used to do that same shit. I don't know. I don't even know why. I was in
It wasn't
6th
about-
grade in Century. I was walking through your dad's neighborhood, and there was a car window rolled all the way down. Just a pair of Oakleys sitting on the. I was in 6th grade. First thing I ever stole. Don't even know why.
Because it was Oakley's and it was there and it was
No.
accessible and
Half a mile down the
opportunistic.
road, I threw them into the field.
Yeah.
Because I felt like, oh, I'm going to jail. I'm gonna
Didn't go put them back.
Like I didn't go put them back. I didn't. I just
I
felt
think-
super guilty, and I threw them into the field, and I didn't even get the Oakleys.
like some of the stealing stuff, like I think most kids go through like a
Yeah.
phase. Like we all
phase.
Oh,
For
yeah.
me, it was more about the adrenaline
Yeah.
of doing it than it was like I didn't actually need the thing or want the thing. I mean, maybe I did want the thing a little bit, but it was just like getting away with it was so exciting, and then getting good at it. Like, dude, but I would just steal black and milds.
Yeah.
I mean, I would
Yeah.
literally be having a conversation because they had them down here. I'd have a conversation with the dude, like, "Yep," I would just be loading.
Yep.
I'd be staring him right in his face, just loading my pockets with black and milds, and then we'd go sit in Andrew's Taurus and hotbox it.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we'd go in a couple days later, and Kyle would be like, "Well, I did it last time, so you got to go."
Yeah. We would take turns doing it.
Yeah.
and that lasted what, one summer because they just
Eventually, they figured it out,
Yeah.
and they just started
It
putting them
took
behind.
'em-
It took them a long
It
time.
took them way longer to figure that out than any smart business owner.
They're probably just
should
like,
have.
"Man, we're selling black and milds like crazy. We should order a triple."
Where's all this money, though?
yeah, they run inventory and they're just like,
Yeah.
fuck, we can't have those out front.
Yep.
Dude, we stole hundreds of dollars worth of black and milds, and they were probably only $2 a pack.
Oh, you guys were just giving them out.
No, but
I used to
I
ask
couldn't
you guys, like,
smoke
can
them.
I have a pack of Black and Milds? And you just like pull out like 90.
There'd be
Here you go,
nights
dude.
where I would be like physically sick because I was hailing so many
Yeah.
black and milds.
No, the thing is though, when we were stealing them, we weren't 18. We couldn't buy cigarettes or any of those products. So it was like
we really
okay,
had
well,
no choice. They
yeah.
should just lower the smoking age. So
Well, they- no, they-
I don't
they
know.
raised it.
Why would they even
raised
have
it.
that faced
They
out
raised it.
towards
It's
the
20 it's
customers
21
right there?
now.
Oh, nice.
Makes no sense. The loss prevention on that, you guys failed.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Honestly, like if it wasn't us, somebody else was going to figure out that hack.
But it's
Yeah.
crazy that it was like at like child level.
Well, and then the way
What?
the counter was set up, it was like one cashier on this side and one cashier on this side, but there was only one guy working. So you'd have your friend go over there and buy a Gatorade, and you'd just be like,
Yep.
I could get chew there. I could reach the chew. I think I would like reach over because I remember I got really sick one day from like eating a bunch of chew. I was like throwing up. I put as much in my I was like stuffing it up here and down here. But it's like somebody dared me. I was like, all right, and then I was like throwing up for an hour. And then some chick I had a crush on shows up, and she's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm just like spitting like black puke out.
Were you
She's like,
drunk?
No. It's
Oh
just
my
like,
God.
I just drank probably before I drank.
That was before. Yeah.
I was like 15, 16 years old.
We used to drink and like just like dare ourselves to do stupid shit like smoke
Dude.
like 10 cigarettes at once.
When you guys were talking
Kyle.
about like I should start drinking
Remember the
again,
gamer
Kyle,
binge?
I was
I was just gonna say we made the kid eat the cigarette filter and all. Oh, we didn't make him, but we was like, you got to do it because this is the game.
That happened to me once.
He got super sick.
That happened to me
So-
once too. I didn't eat the filter though.
So do you guys
Yeah.
remember like the first time you've ever drank? So like I remember, Kyle, you remember this? I think it was the first time we both drank at my mom's
I think I
house.
maybe drank a time before.
And
we
my
were
mom,
grounded actually. It was
Yeah.
over Christmas break. We were both grounded, but our parents felt bad and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, you guys can like hang out
Hang
with
out.
each other.
and my mom would keep the liquor in the basement on like the top shelf and like the little like
Gin.
the cross base room where she put like all the extra like groceries and stuff. So me and Kyle were just like, oh, we'll just drink gin, like gin out of all things, and we're just taking shots, and we don't know that like, hey, you have to pace yourself with hard alcohol.
We drank the
So
whole
we're
thing
just-
and
yeah.
then got in a chat room.
Yeah.
We haven't been on like some sort of chat room,
And then-
just like talking to like
And then I just remember like,
whoever.
because you know you
Good old
guys all
chat
know my
roulette.
mom, super clean freak. Me and Kyle just start vomiting all over
We were eating
ourselves.
something. We were eating something. We had something red. I
Yeah.
think we were drinking. I think we were chasing it with Gatorade.
Yeah,
red or
like
Kool-Aid.
I remember me
because we
being
were
on the-
throwing up just like it looked like blood.
Yeah,
it was
like
terrible.
Kyle went to the bathroom.
Destroyed the bathroom.
And
And then
then-
I was like puking. Like there was like puke on the seat.
Yeah, and then like
Doing it.
I was just sitting on the couch and I couldn't move, and I was just throwing up on myself. And like
Oh,
my mom comes
no.
like puke.
How did we not get in
puke-
trouble for
Yeah,
that?
puke smells, and my mom didn't even notice. She just like came down and like woke us up and then left. I'm like, how did we not get in trouble for that?
Like the carpet was for sure
Yeah,
stained.
yeah.
After that, the bathroom, like
Oh, she
I tried
knew.
to clean it, but I was trying to clean it. Like, dude, his mom like fucking reamed us though.
Yeah.
she'd be like, "You fucking idiots!
Yeah.
You guys are fucking retarded."
yeah,
I can say that because she told me that at least 15 times. In my life.
yeah. Like
Oh, yeah.
Anthem.
Me too.
She was like not embarrassed to tell
No.
you guys when you were being
She's
stupid.
She wasn't ever wrong.
No, yeah,
she was
she's
like,
never
"You guys are
wrong.
fucking retarded." I'm like,
Yep.
"Yeah." Like, did you guys just get fired from like a really easy job?
Yeah, Anthem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You guys were all with me the first time I got drunk.
Yeah. Blue hair.
Gabe's house?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gobs.
Gobs,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was who was I with? Oh, I can't
Oh
remember.
no,
think
you
you were
showed
with-
up.
No, it was me.
Brian, it was you.
No, it was me. We did the whole.
that's
hey,
when you
Mom,
had the little white.
No, that was
Honda?
No, that was when we would do the hey, I'm gonna spend the night at Adams and Adam's gonna spend the night at mine.
And so everybody's
So we-
saying we're gonna spend the night, and it was us and
No, I think it was just us.
Okay.
We skateboarded down.
so we
to-
skate there, and like you guys saw me get all hammered, and I broke like a picture frame, and then
Yeah.
I stained the carpet.
Was that detergent or was that your hair?
I think it had to have been detergent because I sleep on my
What the
pillowcases.
fuck were you doing with the detergent?
He probably
Well,
was
my-
like, my pants are dirty.
No, legit.
Oh yeah.
No, my pants were wet, and I was like, did I piss myself? And then I was like, why does it smell like detergent? And then there was like a big old blue spot, and I was like, that was the only thing that made sense to me. I don't know what it was, to be honest with you. I think I spilled I don't know if I spilt it or if I grabbed it for a reason.
That was-
to this day I have no
that,
idea.
that was back when Adam would go around and find the empty beer bottles with cigarette butts in it and drink it. And
I was only I could only babysit you so long because you were grabbing bottles and they were like
Yeah.
they had cigarette butts in there. You're trying to drink and I would grab one from you and then someone would say something to me.
Graham had just started smoking weed. He's high as shit, just following me
me, yeah.
around as I'm acting like an
Wow,
asshole,
he-
just laughing.
I remember because I always had a bunch of weed somehow.
Yeah.
I was always
Yeah,
really good
where
at
did
having
that come from?
Well, I just realized pretty early that like if you sell a little bit of it to your friends, then you get a lot of weed for free. Like the goal was always just to like sell enough to like smoke a lot for free.
You gave it to me for free.
I gave a lot. Dude, I was good at what I did, baby. No, I just remember I had swag, like dirt weed, and we were sitting on a hill by the pool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
dude,
signaled-
we talked
I
about
signaled-
that
we were all
often.
there.
Yeah,
yeah,
Dude,
And I remember I had
we
like this
had
giant
joints.
steamroller.
We had
pipe.
we had a steamroller, we had joints,
pipes,
we
we had
had
songs,
we
like
had
everything.
everything.
You know what's funny is like I probably would be higher off one hit of normal weed today than I was that entire night smoking.
Oh,
weed.
after the hill, we went and hotboxed the Honda.
Yeah.
I remember that.
It
We
was
did
so,
the
it was so
Honda.
the smoke was so milky. I could like
Yeah.
I was in the back seat in the right side, and like I couldn't like I could barely see the driver.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
crazy.
yeah, it was so bad I had to get out.
And that was the first.
I got out. You guys stayed in there. I went into Gob's house, and then I came back out, and then you guys were like disappeared.
That
Yeah,
night was
that-
crazy
I was like, they drove.
because that was the same night.
yeah, but
huh?
but you have to remember though, Gobs's to my house was like 2 blocks.
Yeah.
I didn't know you guys went home. That was before cell phone.
and that was
was that the same night or was that a different night?
That was a that was a different night. That
We
was a
didn't have
different
cell
night.
phones then.
Did-
That was the best.
could you imagine like back then? Like
Our parents just thinking we're at home asleep at our friend's house.
Yeah.
We're just running around.
no cell
No
phones.
cell phones.
We weren't tracked.
doing
nothing.
drugs
Well, they-
with precarious people.
They figured it out though. I don't remember how.
Was
we
it
just
that night?
yeah, we didn't show up like at anyone's place or something like that. How did they find out?
Because we passed out at Gobbs's, and then I think one of our parents like talked to another parent, and then like, oh, I don't know. And
he said he was at your house.
Then I think no, there were cell phones at the time because I think my mom called me and I was like, oh, yeah.
I was poor.
You know what's funny now?
Can you come pick us up?
Well, I think mine got taken away. Like a cell phone's a privilege. You don't get it.
Yeah, I was too poor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get my first cell phone until like senior year.
Damn.
I had a cell phone my senior year I did, but up until then I didn't either. I think I had one for a little bit, and then my parents were like, you suck. I think I ran up a text message bill. Remember you had to pay like 10 cents a text? And I was just like texting some chick, I'm sure, like 100 times.
That Edgar Allan Poe poem.
Yeah, that's what sent it.
You said this on the last podcast, but you said a homeless guy asked you to use your phone, and you said you didn't have any minutes.
Recently, like less than like 2 weeks ago.
That still can be possible. Like, a lot of people buy.
He was only like 25 too. He probably He's like, what a minute? What the hell is that?
Yeah,
he probably he never was even around when that.
He's just like,
sorry,
that guy just say he didn't have the time for me, but in the form of, sorry, I don't have any minutes.
Yeah, he was just like confused.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah, it's like such an asshole thing to say, but it's like kind of hilarious.
I don't have the minutes. Sorry.
Remember that? Like there was no internet on your phone.
Oh, nights and weekends only. That's the only, when I got my phone. That's when I was allowed to talk on it.
Yeah, you would tell girls like, call me after 7.
Call me after 9. Or, call me after 9.
I think T-Mobile was it like they moved theirs to 7, and I was like, this is the nuts. Like this is absolutely the best ever. I can talk at 7, and I don't have to be up till.
Yeah,
dude, I used to smoke weed by myself in my room and get so high and listen to Pink Floyd at night by myself. Thinking about doing that now terrifies me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to do a lot of stupid shit when you were young. Remember when we went and stole cough medicine so
I never
someone
did that.
else could trip?
Bro, my buddies Mike and Grant used to do that all the time.
We didn't even get the right stuff. You're supposed to get,
made you trip.
Oh, yeah. I thought I was dying. To this, I think a lot of some of the anxiety I have in life
comes from that,
like PTSD from that, because I thought I was dying, and I remember like being like, do I like go tell my parents that like I did it, like, and I just threw up for like a day straight, and then.
But we didn't see you for quite a few days.
But you did get the psychoactive one. You said you didn't, but he said you did. Because
I don't know. Whatever it was, I was as sick as you could be, and there was like there was like tripping happening.
Mm-hmm. The psychoactive chemical,
but it wasn't the right Sudafed. It was a different one.
It was Chlorcidin.
It was
Chlorcidin.
But we bought Sudafed.
No, we got Chlorcidin.
Was it but we got the wrong one.
We got
the maximum flu, and you're not supposed to do the maximum flu.
No,
we didn't do it right.
I think you probably did.
No, you did it right because you were tripping balls, dude. You told me that you went into the bathroom to take a leak, and then you saw yourself, and then you looked at yourself, and you saw your face was melting off.
Yeah,
dude, it was like shadow people. It was a lot of like dark, like
you definitely entered a different realm.
I kept thinking my hat was like. I had like a black rimmed hat on, and I kept thinking it was like death coming over me.
Oh, you did. You basically did Benadryl.
It might have been. It very, very well could have been. Like,
so that's diphenhydramine. And
it could have been.
That's a deliriant. So there's like disassociatives, which is DXM, which is the robotripping of the cough medicine.
Nothing about it was pleasurable.
There's psychedelics, and then there's deliriants.
I remember we were in my window well, and we were trying to get mushrooms and couldn't.
I was just smoking weed that whole night because I would not partake.
I smoked a ton of weed, but we had just eaten like 20 of these pills. I smoked a bunch of weed, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, I don't feel good. And then me and Jared just started throwing up.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know what happened to him after that.
Everybody stayed the night.
I left.
You stayed till the morning though. Everybody stayed till the morning.
I felt responsible for you two because I didn't want to leave and have you guys wind up waking up dead.
Dude, Adam, remember the party at your house?
Oh god.
And then Zach and Andrew were doing the snow.
Yeah, they were doing cocaine.
And then we're like,
I was there.
I mean,
you can't do that. You have to leave.
This was 21 years ago.
I remember.
No, that wasn't like that. It said, if you're going to do you can do
it
that
in front of us.
But you got to do it in front of me.
We're just like, okay.
Like, deal.
He thought he was going to like, we were like too scared to do it in front of him. Like, no, cocaine feels really
No,
cool.
you weren't in there. It was just, and you had already like bounced and you did your cocaine. You're like, this is retarded. I'm out of here. And then there's this huge crowd. I don't know why it was such a big deal.
Nobody wanted me to do it.
We were like 15.
Yeah.
Dude.
I think it was the first time anybody had seen
17.
drugs.
We were probably like
Yeah, I was
16. I think we were
16. We might have been
16.
16, but Andrew's. I'm like, what's going on? Like, because I was smoking weed in a car, like outside, and
Yeah, we
someone
were
comes up
smoking
to
weed.
yeah,
Yeah.
someone comes out to the car and they're like, you got to get in here. Crazy shit's going down. I'm sitting here thinking like a window got broken or someone got knocked out or something. I come in, there's this huge crowd outside of the bathroom, and I'm like fighting my way through the crowd, and I get there, and Andrew's just there, bloodshot with a rolled up like $20 bill, and he's just like, I'm like. Oh, and I was like, I see what's going on here. And Zach's like, I'm going to kick his ass if he does it, dude. I'm going to beat him up. And so I was just like, you know what? I'll take care of this. Everybody go. We shut the door. And it's just me and Andrew. And I go, Andrew, you can do it, but only if you do it in front of me. And he goes... fucking rips the line, and I was just like,
because
I don't
you
think that,
came
I was high
in-
as shit. I didn't know what I was talking about.
You came in and you probably were thinking this was my first time.
Yeah.
But me and Kyle had
No,
been sneaking around doing blow.
it wasn't even
behind
that.
everybody's backs for.
I was 16
Wow.
years
So
old and I was blitzed out of my fucking mind. I didn't even know what was going on. I was just like, maybe this will work. I literally was just throwing shit at a wall.
You know what's funny is like I loved cocaine then.
This is so funny.
Like cocaine was like it felt so cool, but now the idea of doing cocaine is like it sounds terrible. It sounds
I couldn't even.
It sounds like an unpleasurable experience.
I never liked it.
You know why I've
was never
never
a fan.
done like partaked with you guys with like anything else but like weed? It's because I see how stupid you guys look when you're on it, and I'm like, yep, nope, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, see, I was like that too until I tried cocaine, and I was like, "This shit's fucking awesome."
If you're ADHD, it's pretty cool.
It calms it down, dude.
You get
a lot,
real calm,
a
and
lot
focused.
It like
Yeah.
and this,
Dude,
and
and
this
then-
last time when I was like,
Dude, and the cocaine back then was so good.
it wasn't even.
So you didn't have to
step on.
worry about.
You didn't have to worry about
or anything. It
fentanyl.
was just like
You had to worry about salt maybe if your dealer really sucked.
it was
Baking soda.
It was,
soda,
it was
baby
pretty. It
powder.
was pretty like cheap comparatively. Like even given inflation and stuff, it was cheap back then. Like I mean, I was getting it for nothing.
Dude, you're paying $80 for a ball.
Dude, I was getting like fucking. I could get an ounce for like $600.
Yeah,
I get
that's
like
insane.
like more cocaine than like any person should ever possess at one time for like $800.
Is that from hippie?
No,
Oh, okay.
no Mexicans.
Oh, nice.
You don't get good cocaine from white people.
Bro, one time I bought weed, and like I've had this a couple times, but we bought weed, and I swear to God, it smelled like it came out of a gas tank.
It probably did.
It was just, it smelled like
Yeah,
gas.
I used to get these pounds back then. They were like wrapped up in like duct tape, and they were like a pound, and they would literally that's how they shipped it was in the gas tank.
Yeah. It was disgusting.
It tasted like gas.
Yeah. I do kind of miss breaking up the seeds and stems,
It's
so
fun.
you don't get that anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you just like put it in a grinder.
I get happy when I find a seed.
Yeah. It's
Like-
neat. It's like,
Dude, they make
nostalgia.
you infertile. Isn't that what the
Yeah.
rumor is? Maybe it's true. I don't know. For
What
sure.
does?
I have no idea.
If you smoke the seeds, your dick won't work. Makes you infertile.
I always believe that just because people said it.
Well,
that
remember
would
the
make you
guy,
infertile.
the guy that was a glass of orange juice. He did mushrooms or acid or something, and he thought he was a glass of orange juice, and then thought he was a glass of orange juice for the rest of his life. Remember that story?
No, there's also, I've never heard that one, but like people like thought they could fly. People stared at the sun until they went blind. All this stupid shit. That's like not true, but it like stays in people's minds, so that even when you're like telling them about the benefits of psychedelics, they're still thinking like, but what if I stare at the sun until I go blind? That's like,
You told me that like when you were in DARE in whatever that 5th grade that you heard all the stories you're like I'll never do drugs. Drugs are terrible.
Yeah.
You thought that?
Uh-huh.
Did you guys think that?
oh yeah, he did. I bet he didn't.
I didn't.
I bet he did.
I was always like,
I was like,
I think I might try some of them.
I definitely knew I was going to smoke weed.
Yeah.
Well, because that's the ENF, that's the ENFP personality. You're just like, I don't fucking, I'm not gonna believe you. Versus like the TJs that are just very like structure and authority, like make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was just like, what does this guy know? Have you ever done them? You know, because people tell you not to do something and then you do it and it's cool. And you're like, all right.
And see, in my mind, I'm like, why would they lie to me? But like that was before I could critically evaluate why they would lie to me and like why there would be a misinformation.
I always thought like, I've had an my mom was talking about this the other day. I was like, I've never liked authority.
Me either.
It's like that's why I can't have like a job, like any sort of like person that I have to answer to. I just struggle with. There's some situations where the dynamic makes sense, and if I really think the person is like good at what they do, and I believe what they're telling me, and I think what they're telling me has utility, then I like will go along with it. But I mean, I had teachers in high school. I'm like, I think I'm smarter than you. Like I had a math teacher one time. I for sure was smarter than. I remember she would like talk to me like, "How are you a teacher? Like you were a dumb person." I remember I think I have more respect for the kid over there who's like eating his booger. Like I think he's slightly more intelligent.
See, I never had that. Like, I just assumed, like, I just had this assumption from a young age where the teachers and the authority figures were just the people that were appointed to those positions because they were competent and smart.
And they wouldn't lie to us. They wouldn't lie to us.
And obviously now, like, I get what's going on. But it's like, at the time, it's just like, why would that be how reality works? Why would that be how society operates? And it's because nobody really knows what's going on. It's just like a collection of fucking 330 million people just like trying to figure it out all at once. So it's like you get bad people in positions that they shouldn't be in, and like, but when I'm a kid, or when I was a kid, that thought didn't register with me. I was like, society has to be figured out, and I think it's because I grew up sheltered.
No, it's because we got taught that
from a very young age. People really tried to mold us into this black and white, like, life. Like, this is how it goes. This is the way it's done. Don't do this. Do this.
I'm grateful that I had a parent. My mom was very like, you should experiment. She was like, go do drugs. But she was very open-minded. Like, you should question things, and you should find your own path, and you should, I guess you would see your parents lie, right? I think divorce kind of does that to me as a kid, because I saw my parents get divorced. Because at first you think, oh, people never get divorced. Every marriage is like works out forever, and everybody's happy, and you're just told this. And then all of a sudden you see like your parents maybe lie to each other, deceive each other, or like not agree with each other. And you're like, well, what else is like this? What else is kind of a sham? What else is kind of this facade? And then you start to just quite like, I think that was maybe because my parents got divorced. I think I was like 8-ish, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. And I think that's when I started to be like, fuck, well, maybe everything's not like it is. Like they say it is.
I never made that connection. My situation is probably a little bit different, but like I knew my parents should have gotten divorced.
Me too, though. I wasn't like I thought they should be together. I'm like, they're fundamentally different people. I knew that. But then it's just like, how do people end up in a marriage like that?
Yeah.
And like, and then you catch, like, I would see older people, like people of authority that you're supposed to respect, like lie to each other. And you would see them lie. And you would catch them in their lies sometimes, like I would. And I'm like, fuck, they're lying about this. What else are they lying about? And then when it came to school, it's not that I thought the information was incorrect. It's just, this is important. This is what you need to do. I'm like, is it though? Because you don't seem that together. Like you're telling me this is what I need to do, and your life looks kind of like a mess.
Well, I think in my mind, I was just like I kind of understood from a young age, like the more successful you are, it was kind of predicated on what the amount of education you got. And if you had to be a teacher, then you probably have to have some credentials. You're going to be a cop, you got to have some credentials. And I definitely put too much stock into it. But, there's some merit to that, right?
It's probably better. It's probably easier to reach a certain level of success when you kind of just go along with the status quo.
Sure. That's the S personality.
Maybe it's hard to break through to like a really fulfilling life because you kind of just like do what you're told. And
yeah, but I don't think back then though with kids, it's not about, yes, it's about molding, but it's also just teaching kids right and wrong, morals, stuff like that.
Of course.
And then later on in life, you're supposed to, like, that's what college is for, is like, hey, now you're in college, you can experiment with stuff.
Choose what you want to do.
Ask questions. Why is this, and why is that? But between the age of like 5 and say 17, maybe earlier than that, 15, whatever. The parents, teachers, all that stuff. They're just trying to teach you go this direction because this is the right direction. But once you can start thinking about it yourself, then yes, you could branch out. But
I think there's probably general guidelines, right?
Yeah.
Because when they say don't do drugs, right, it's probably just like they see what certain drugs do, right? They see that heroin, like when you get hooked on heroin or meth or whatever. So they remove the nuance and they're just like, just to make it easy, don't do drugs. Don't do any of them, sure.
That's just alcohol.
It's just like,
alcohol's okay
don't
though.
do it till you're 21 though.
Yeah.
But as soon as you're 21, do all of it.
That's the okay one. That's the one that we've all deemed like
I think
that's good.
It comes down to also like personality types. When I was a child, they'd be like, don't climb the tree.
But why?
I'm going to climb
Why
that
not?
fucking
Yeah.
tree.
I'm going to climb the tree.
Why not?
I'm going to go climb it.
Well, it's up there. What's up? Like, what are you hiding up there? Because you're like, don't eat the cookies on top of the cabinet. And it's like, is there something?
Is there cookies
a
up there?
treat up on top of the, is there a treat something there? And then you would go to the top of the tree and you're like, oh, this is pretty cool up here. I get it because you can't just be like, yeah, go ahead, fucking climb, But I was a kid jumping off the roof onto the trampoline, young.
Yeah.
And me when I used to skate, I would fucking send the biggest thing first sometimes.
Yeah.
I had to do it, not to like show anybody up to prove to myself that I can.
Well, you guys have the personality type of you don't regret the things you did as much as you regret the things you didn't do.
And it's a confidence thing, right? Like I think Jordan Peterson has a great take on like skating. It's like you're building confidence when you're young and you're doing things outside of your comfort zone. You're building a confidence to do something, and it's hard to like. Because of some of those things that I did on a skateboard when I was a kid or a snowboard when you'd full send it, I think has helped me in my poker career. Because it's just like confidence that, hey, I can do this. This thing that everybody says it's too hard or that's too risky. Fuck it.
Right.
Like somebody told me I couldn't kickflip that thing. I kickflip that thing.
Yeah,
maybe I could make a living at poker.
But that's why I think that, like, and I tell you this all the time, I think that a lot of this is nature. I think that's fundamentally built into you. I don't think that there was anything that, like, created that in you. I think that's just who you two are.
I can remember a fundamental time when I was scared of a roller coaster, and then I did it. And I was like, that was so much fun. Like, what else?
Mine was the Sidewinder at Idealist.
Mine was not the Sidewinder. What was the other one?
Twister?
No, Mind Eraser. Mind Eraser. And it was that. And then I just remember being, but what else have I neglected? What other things have I been scared of?
What other stuff have I not tried that I'm missing out on?
Exactly.
With our personality types.
What happened. And that was like if I maybe didn't do the roller coaster that day, maybe I go a completely different way in my life.
100% not.
Right.
See, I completely disagree. I think if it wasn't the roller coaster, it was going to be another thing. But you have the wiring in your brain such that you're like,
or what if I rode the roller coaster and it was scary? Like, what if I hit my head weird and hurt myself? Or like, what if it because some people do that and they get scared and go, I don't like that. I didn't like that.
But then I think you just always. That's why I think it's genetic. I think you probably have a polymorphism with your COMT gene where it metabolizes.
But could have that gene happened?
Dopamine and adrenaline and noradrenaline too rapidly, so that you are constantly in need of more dopamine and adrenaline.
It could be. I mean, I got addicted to video games really young, like Super Mario Brothers 3. I mean, I would play it till I peed my pants.
Yeah,
I literally wouldn't stop. I was addicted to it.
Yeah.
Why? Maybe because I had that gene mutation and I found this thing. I was like,
I would be willing to bet if you guys took like that genetic test and you saw the mutation on that one particular gene, because I have the exact opposite. That gene doesn't work at all. I got a polymorphism from both parents, my dad and my mom, such that it doesn't metabolize dopamine, adrenaline, or noradrenaline. So it's like I don't have that like propensity to go seek those behaviors or like want to do a ton of cocaine or want to I just don't have that. But then I think you guys have the one. It's like one of the variants is called the warrior, one is the worrier. I have the worrier. I think you guys probably have the warrior, where it's a genetic predisposition to wanting more.
My glasses started playing music. I think Floyd's "Wish You Were Here" just started playing in my head. And I was like, what the fuck is happening?
I think you guys have a predisposition.
Anybody else hearing that?
To just like not even wanting more dopamine and adrenaline, but needing it.
What the hell is happening? Sorry. I thought I was having a psychotic episode.
Your face looked
like I finally snapped. Oh, all right.
This is the whippets.
But I think. Sorry. Like I think you guys just like don't even want the dopamine. I think you guys need it because your brain is just processing it too rapidly.
It's probably true.
Yeah. So I think if it wasn't the roller coaster, I think it would have been something else. Whereas like with us, it's just like we're just very measured in our approach. So even if we do something we like, and like correct me if I'm wrong, Graham, but even if we do something that's like new and novel and interesting and fun and exciting, we're just like, okay, cool. But we're still going to go about our lives in a measured way. Like even when we were younger,
look at our skating styles.
Totally.
Graham would try
we bailed all the time
30 times. And
I did too.
Make sure it was perfect. Like everything
I would
about
do that
it had
shit
to feel
too,
good
though.
before you landed
That's
it.
True.
I was just fucking hooked the thing.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Me and Graham were same in that regard. We could land something sloppy. I'm not leaving until I land it smooth.
No, I want to land it smooth too. But
you're not talking about that.
I'm gonna try to land it.
Oh, you're talking about the roll up, the 15 roll ups.
Before,
yeah.
I could just roll up once and I've already committed. Mm-hmm. Like I committed as soon as I was on the board, because I know that if I start to second guess myself, then I get in my head and I'm actually going to do the trick back.
I always hated the roll up.
Poker's the same way.
I always hated the roll up. Like you gotta just huck your body off of it to see what it feels like. Even if you have no intention of landing it, I would always pop.
I also just I didn't want to fall.
Yeah, and
like if I just land it first, if I just do it the first time, I don't have to keep doing it.
You were like the king of that. I would throw my board away, hit the ground, and see what it's like to fall.
I did the same thing.
And I would get that feeling of what it's going to be like to fall, how I need to land on my feet, and like hit the ground and roll over.
Like on a snowboard?
Like I had the perfect exit plan on my tricks.
But I also think maybe that's why because you were really good at that and really good at committing. But I also think maybe that's why you didn't like get better at like, because you could throw kick flips down huge shit and ollies down huge shit and nollies. But maybe it's like you couldn't, because you didn't want to fall and you didn't want to try new things. You knew the things you were good at. You were confident at those. So you were good with just like committing right away, but you would never try a shove it, a backside flip, whatever. Right.
See, I always knew I was going to fuck myself up skateboarding. Like I knew it hurt. Yeah. I knew it hurt. The very first day I got my skateboard.
I probably tried those things a few times.
The very first day I got my skateboard, I saw a skate video. My grandma took me, my great grandma actually, took me to a Walmart or something in Kansas to buy a skateboard. We got it. I tried what I saw in the video, which was an ollie. Had no idea how to do it. Basically rolled up off a curb or a porch, and I like kind of popped the tail, and I landed on the board, and then I slipped out, and I busted my shit. Very first time on a skateboard. So I think that's kind of what. It wasn't that bad.
That's fair.
I was like, that wasn't that bad. And then I started learning how to ride, and then probably like 2 weeks later, I learned how to ollie.
You know what I don't like?
What's that?
Mexicans.
Why do they call them a great-great-grandma? Why isn't it like wonderful grandma after like great? Because you have your grandma and you have your great-grandma. Then it should be like wonderful grandma. And then like
because a lot of people don't get to meet them.
Grandma. Why do we call them great-great-grandma? Like that's just like great-great. Okay.
It's redundant.
Great-great-great-grandma. Like it's just not like we hit 1 million, then there's billion, then there's trillion. Yeah. Like why did we stop at great? Where's great?
You know the girls that have the kids in high school who then have kids that have kids in high school, like they're gonna meet their great. It's like let's just remove the redundancy for them.
Yeah,
right.
They should be
start calling it wonderful.
Yeah,
the wonderful grandma.
Because what's
a lot of people are just
fantastic
starting to go to
fantastic grandma.
Gigi
grandma.
No, just Gigi.
Oh, that makes sense.
Great grandma. Sure. Gigi.
Where's Gigi? Yeah, that makes sense. But that's boring.
Because like
the only reason that exists is because of the redundancy. If you would just came up with like wonderful grandma.
Because if we're gonna do redundancy and you call your grandma Nana, then is the next one na na na, and then eventually it's just na 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 na. Hey, they die because they're old as fuck, right?
And they die. You know, you're dead to me.
Yeah.
I'm just
fucking one time
talk to dead people.
One time we went up to Wyoming and like we won't go through the whole story, but like Andrew and I got real mad at each other, and like I got mad at him.
I wasn't mad at all.
Yeah, because he was just like in the backseat with his girlfriend.
I saw boobies.
Yeah, he was just with his. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Had sex doesn't matter.
Yeah, but we got.
Did you have sex or just?
I didn't have sex. I just saw boobies.
Still good.
We got back into town from like Wyoming. I was driving on a spare tire, like all the way from like Wheatland, Wyoming, and we didn't talk the whole way. And so we drop off his girlfriend at the time, who was on the podcast, and we drop off his girlfriend at the time. Yeah, and she, we still haven't said a word. Pull up to his place. It's been like an hour and a half, 2 hour drive because we're
in complete silence, just listening to music.
Not even looking at each other. No music, nothing. We're just
you guys were in the back seat cuddling, and then it's like she left, and then he gets in the front seat, and we're just like not talking. And then we get to his place, and I just go, "You're dead to me." And I don't talk to dead.
Classic Adam.
I go, and I don't talk to dead guys.
I couldn't even be mad.
He's like trying not to laugh, and he leaves.
So funny. I was cracking up as I was walking inside, and I think we were good.
We were friends a week later.
Yeah.
Always.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that's how it always worked.
It was the funniest thing ever.
Do you remember the first time you got? What, is touching boobs second base? That's second base, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Kissing is first base.
Yeah.
Boobs is second.
I'm lucky if I get to
like
first base now.
Like before sex, like the next thing would be like fingering would be third base.
I think third is like
mouth
oral stuff too.
Anything past anything
when you're
everything except penetration.
Yeah.
Anything but penetration.
That's the first time you got to. When was the first time you got to second base?
I think mine was like 8th grade.
Yeah, 8th grade.
We probably.
It's probably the same chick.
Yeah, probably same chick.
Yeah.
What?
Was it
AM?
AM.
Yeah.
Yep. You know what's funny?
Yours too?
I thought she was the hottest chick ever, and I see her now.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh.
I was into that.
Yeah.
How many girls? Like,
I don't even remember who's mine.
did they get uglier?
Yeah.
They got uglier, right? Like they were hot when I liked them.
Oh.
Who's yours?
Shit. I don't know her name, but it was definitely at Skate City, and I got to second and third base that night.
No way.
Same night. Wow.
How old are you?
Nice.
It was 8th grade.
Oh shit.
It was summer before 8th grade.
Nice.
And
Okay.
I don't know what her name is, and it was one of those at
Skate City?
Yeah. Stay the night at Skate City. You remember those? When you could.
Why did they let us
You
do
would
that?
quite literally, your parents would drop you off at
You
Skate
would stay
City
the
at
night
9
at
p.m.
Skate City.
And then they would pick you up at 7 a.m.
What?
You would,
Yeah.
you
I
would
don't-
skate
I
till
don't
like
remember
11
that.
and then they'd make you go to bed. Dude, I remember that. How did they allow us to do that?
Dude, I don't know, but I
Because it was guys and girls.
I never
It wasn't
stayed.
just-
I never stayed
I'm sure
the
like
night.
they separated us, but like
No, they didn't separate
There was-
anybody. You would sleep
in your
just
sleeping
anywhere.
bag in the
anywhere.
you bring your sleeping bag, you'd sleep in the rink or like under a table.
And it was the only night I went to.
And the person overlooking the whole
stay
thing
night.
was probably like 18 or 19. It was probably some kid like
No, it was probably some 40-year-old just
That's
doing.
true. But
you know.
remember the kids that worked at Skate City, like the adults there were just
Skate City was a
20-year-olds.
cesspool.
yeah. I did a lot of
for
things.
experimenting in like
I
7th
did a
and
lot.
8th grade.
Yeah, I did a lot of first things there.
So
I remember I had somebody.
I quite literally probably made out with this girl, touched her boob, and fingered her all in the same.
I was
night.
supposed to. My friends were like, I was making out with some girl, and they're like, "You should see how long you can make. We'll time it for you."
Yep, they would make you stay the night, but I snuck out and roller skated home after that because I
You
needed
roller
to.
skated
I
home?
needed to take a shower, dude. I was not ready for that shit.
That's funny. I made out. Yeah, I was making out with a girl at Skate City. My friends were counting like out loud, so she knew that like it was. But she was cool with
They
it.
didn't care.
She was like, I'm
That was
I didn't make out with a girl until I was in 9th grade.
loser.
Yeah.
I actually made out with this girl in 7th grade. She's real slutty. She like, dude, it's been the same thing. It's always like, I don't pursue them. There's always just some girl that's like, you, and then they just like latch onto me.
Yeah.
It's been like that. My
Same
I
here.
was,
7th grade, literally like,
same
I'm just
here.
like going through my life, and then this chick, I'm not gonna say her name, but you guys would recognize the name. And she came up to me. She was a year younger, I think. I was in 7th grade, and she was in 6th grade. And she was like, "I like you," and she showed me her notebook, and it just had my name written like 1,000
What does her
times.
name start with?
A J.
It's the same one. That
Yeah, I think we- I think we discussed this at one point.
It was outside this place. Was the first time I did.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
ends with the E.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the
Yeah.
kid that shit his pants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, he's probably a nice guy.
The funniest thing about it is
He didn't.
apology
Or socks.
now.
He ain't did that.
You guys just decided
It
to
is
make up
out
that rumor.
now, off the chest.
It is.
It's up there in the open.
It's published.
He
Socks.
was confrontational, though, right?
No, he was chill.
No.
He was like a little dork though, and he'd go behind your back and like talk a bunch of shit and like he got me in trouble with one chick especially because. Yeah, I guess I was cheating on her, but I wasn't cheating on her. But I made out with another girl, and he's just
That's
like
cheating.
Yeah,
That's cheating, Adam.
Yeah, I know. Okay, hold up.
Never mind.
That was actually the only time I've ever cheated in my life, and it was just made out with another
Hey,
girl.
that's cool.
Legitimately,
What other sounds do you have? I love it.
Yeah, we actually. I think we can update him. We should probably figure that out.
Yeah,
By we, I mean Adam.
it's actually pretty easy. I just need to get this over there and like actually just do it. I just haven't thought about it, and I've just been super busy. But whenever like at the end of the episode, we'll get one of these.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good. The other ones aren't that cool. I hate that.
That one's pointless. That should be the intro.
Yeah.
It's good.
Welcome back to Keeping Tabs.
We actually commissioned one of my favorite musicians to make the intro. I paid him some money, and
We did a podcast with him.
yeah, he was,
It
fucking
the,
cool. He's
the
an
one
Austrian dude. He's fucking sick, Waxamillion.
Yeah, it was the one. Not viral. What am I thinking? Remote one we did.
Mm-hmm. It was the only one that we've done like over Skype or something, but it was dope.
Yeah, I've cheated. I can admittedly only on one girlfriend.
Oh yeah, New Orleans.
Oh, fuck.
It's
dude.
two.
I forget about that. I like block that one out of my memory,
Yeah.
which is funny. The first girlfriend I ever had, the first serious girlfriend, I cheated on her. I think she was already cheating on me, and I cheated on her with the grossest chick ever.
Yeah.
She was disgusting. My brother was like nailing a girl who we all know in the other bedroom, and her cousin was there, and I remember just being like, Yo, you can hear it. I can hear it.
We all heard it. We all heard it.
My brother was nailing her in the other room, and they're just like super loud. And I'm like, this fucking sucks. Yeah. And her cousin's there, and I'm hammered. And her cousin was just looking at me, and I'm like, we can have sex if you want to. She's like, I do. And I was just like, okay, just so you know, afterwards, you guys are gonna have to go. And she was like, that seems fair. And then I just like had sex with her, and I hated it. I think I closed my eyes for the most part, and then I made them leave. And then I had to go to my girlfriend's house the next morning. Yeah. And she was like, come crawl in bed and cuddle me. And I was just like, it felt so wrong. It was the worst feeling. And that was the only time I cheated on her at all. It was just that one time. It was at the very end. I think we broke up like a month later, maybe.
Which chick was that? Was your first one?
The very
first serious
girlfriend.
one?
Yeah, first serious girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then the other one, we were together, but I didn't want to be with her.
I don't know.
She was just like friends with
you
my best friend at the time's girlfriend, and we just like forced me in this relationship, and then I cheated on her.
That was funny. She didn't force you into anything. Do you?
Oh, I was forced. Twisted my hand.
Did you?
They did. They made me. They're like, if you're not with her, you can't be our friend. I'm like, fine.
That's so stupid. We can't really talk about this with Andrew, but do you remember? Were you there for Get Date and Laid? The Get Date and Laid night when we went up to see you Boulder?
No.
I don't know if he wants me to talk about it, but for the record, I think he's a pretty faithful dude. But like, this was a long time ago, and he was dating the girl that had been on the podcast.
Oh yeah, you told me this story.
Yeah. And it was just like, we went up to see you, and we were trying to get our buddy laid.
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, we don't have to talk about it. I was like, I don't know if it's not right, but it was just, this was so long ago. This was like 17 years ago or 16 years ago. So it was so long ago. It was half our life ago.
God, I hate cheaters, and I've cheated.
Not half a life.
Fuck. I'm no better.
Yeah. I should message that girl and give her an apology about having made out with the other girl in ninth grade. That's cute. I like that.
Fuck. Cheating's bad.
There's nothing in there, dude.
Have you been cheated on?
Oh, dude, every girl cheats on me. Like, I'll be with a girl for like a long period of time. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. It'll be good. And then she's just like, oh, I'm gonna go. But it's the brand of girl that I get. I'm always with the ENFPs.
And they don't date us.
No, they like to cheat.
It's not that I like to cheat. It's that
the alcohol.
No, not even that.
Okay, the times I cheated, I was very drunk, but that's not an excuse.
ENFPs just like they like are very impulsive.
Would you have done it sober too?
The one girl, no. I don't. I would have been like.
Which one was that?
The gross one.
Oh,
the cousin of the fucking other one.
The gross one,
dude. She was like, I've laid down some girls that
laid down.
I've laid some down that were unfortunate looking. She's up there like the top 3.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, like.
Well, yeah.
I banged a girl in this apartment building when I was like 22. I banged a couple gross ones in here, at least 3.
The other one,
I think you and I had the same one.
Was she the wide one?
She was a cousin.
one.
Was she a little wide?
She was a cousin.
Oh, okay. I was raped. First of all,
Me too.
I was
Me
legit,
too.
I like
Me
legit
too.
was so blacked out drunk in my bed, and I remember like, she
Dude,
just,
I
like,
wasn't
came
even in the bed. I was on the floor.
Yeah, and the worst thing is,
she's the one that did. She fucked Brian too, right?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
One time she gave me a pretty fantastic blowy, and then
She had
went
to be
and made out with Brian.
No, like she literally had to be.
She was great. It was great.
She was wide. That wasn't the one I was thinking.
Was that the one that gave,
that one was not
Miles
consensual. That was not
chlamydia?
consensual sex that we had.
No.
This
This is completely different.
And the worst thing is I go to her cousin, like our good friend. I'm not gonna say his name because then it'll out her. But I was like, dude, I think she like took advantage of me last night. He's like, yeah, she does that.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, you were there, right?
Literally did
why
that
did you
to me
stop
too.
her? And he's like, I don't know. You were drunk and passed out, and I was like watching TV all drunk, and she just went in the room.
That's crazy.
I like how like,
I'm like,
it's,
what the fuck?
I like how like rape for women is like normalized, but rape for men is just like, oh yeah, whatever.
Well, rapists should be
Rape
bad
is rape.
no matter what.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it didn't feel good. I remember being like, I felt pretty gross. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like a traumatizing experience, but I remember for a couple of days I was like, I didn't want to have sex with that girl.
Yeah.
But then I've also willingly had sex with girls, and I woke up the next day and be like, fuck, I didn't want to have sex with her. I was like, that sucked. There was one girl that I laid down that I'm not. She looked like a puddle, dude. She got like real wide.
What?
Yeah, I was fucked up on drugs. It was like morning time. It was like the sun was out. And I was just like, maybe if I have sex, I won't feel so bad. And she was like super into it. Like I was like serenading her with the guitar. I didn't have to do any of this, but I did all the things that I would do for like a 10. I'm just like, she was, and I did it. And afterwards I was like, still can't sleep. Still real high on drugs. Like, this sucks. Now I just have this weird chick in my bed. She was just, will you play me another song? I was like, now it really seems fucked up.
So the funny part about the other chick that he cheated on was he like met this girl in New Orleans and he was super hyped on her. And so he comes back and he's just like, dude, I met this chick and she's incredible, whatever, right? I'm not going to go into all the details, but he posts about it at one point on Facebook.
Like 3 months later.
And he was just like, I met this amazing girl in New Orleans on this day, or it's like for this trip.
Oh, no.
And that girl actually, his original girlfriend went out to New Orleans to meet them. They were like dating at the time.
Dude, I had sex, so she couldn't come out like for the beginning of the trip, but she could come out for like the second half of the trip. For like, we were in New Orleans for like Halloween week. Went to a music festival, and then my girlfriend was like flying out to meet us. The night before, I meet this chick at the festival. It was like a friend of a friend. We go have like crazy sex all night. I was real fucked up on like Molly and alcohol. It was bad. I was really fucked up, and I just like banged her for like a whole night, and then the next morning. And then we had to go pick my girlfriend up from the airport. I literally dropped off the one night stand who I ended up being with for like a year afterwards, but dropped her off, and then she flew in, and then she wanted to have sex as soon as she got there. And I was like, I felt bad.
I got a shower.
I did. And then we had sex.
But then like 3 months later, he's like talking about it on Facebook. He's like, I met this girl. She's amazing. She's beautiful. We met in New Orleans. And then the other girl gets into the comments and she goes, there seems to be some overlap here.
Oh, no.
Actually, pretty fucking chill about it.
What'd you say?
She's a cool girl.
She was super chill about it. She's like, there's some overlap here. And I was like, yeah, sorry. And she was just like, it wasn't like a serious relationship. We weren't like, we it was mostly just like somebody we would hang out when we got drunk. And she was a friend of like Grant's girlfriend at the time. I don't know, who cares. It was one, and she was cool, and we're still cool today. She wasn't like mad about it. And also like we broke up, and it wasn't like a big deal. I don't think either person was mad when we broke up.
She's an ENFP. I think you guys are usually just chill about everything.
I feel bad about that, but yeah, not that bad. I'm faithful though now, I promise. All the girls out there that are listening.
Now that you don't want a girlfriend.
No, trust me. Out of all the poop and like shit and stupid things we've said, there's like maybe like 2 dudes still listening.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 total dudes will make it to this part of the podcast.
We've alienated
everybody.
Every different demographic.
No, I can say whatever I want right now. Nobody's gonna hear it. Yeah. They're not gonna make it this far into this.
Screaming into the void right now. Yeah.
Whoever's listening is real fucked up. If you made it this far, you should probably like see it.
Dude, we've got like this part of the podcast is just weird dudes in a basement, like on like meth, just sweating profusely, just masturbating to like.
We're just background noise right now, and they're like,
what they say? They heard the $500 challenge at the beginning.
They're going for it. You guys are gonna get some some pictures about some stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I want to get to that point where we have some like diehard meth addict creep fans in the basement.
Sure, we've got a couple. I hope
just meth.
We have a couple.
Patreon. We got to make a Patreon so those guys can start donating. We'll give you all the smut you need.
Yeah, dude. Because the Matt and Shane's secret podcast, they do the podcast and then they do the Patreon afterwards. So we'll just do the regular stuff, but now they know the crazy shit that we talk about, and we'll just
it gets way worse. This is the tip of the iceberg.
Oh yeah, we'll start naming names.
Real deep.
I'll start getting real fucking creepy.
First name, last names, maybe social security numbers.
Yeah, addresses, phone numbers.
Well, all the information we got.
But that's on the Patreon.
You want to know who this troll that I banged is? I got her credentials.
Got her credentials.
I'm not going to post the picture here, but I will post it on Patreon.
Okay, if you pay, you can see.
Get the juicy deets.
Yeah.
Most of the time we were going out and partying down in Denver.
I was never banging out chicks.
I couldn't even tell you what any of them looked like because once we struck out with all the hot chicks,
dude,
it was like 2:00. We're out front of Lodo's. Like, hey,
scraggling, baby.
You want to come? We got booze.
We betted a couple.
We got booze.
Good ones.
We got booze.
See, I would always just go home after.
What'd you call
it?
Laid them down?
Laid them.
Down.
We laid down a couple.
Yeah. The worst one is I think it might have been you that was with me. It might have been Cody. It was probably Cody. I was living here, banged these 2 pretty. I remember me and Cody were like, there's these like 2 hot chicks that wanted to hang out, and I was like, we can go hang out with these like super hot chicks, but we're gonna have to like spend money on them. They're probably not gonna fuck us. I was like, we can go hang out with these 2, and like they're DEF.
I think this was me.
It might have been you.
I think this was me.
And
And
then
they
we-
were not good.
No, and
They were not good. I came out of a blackout to like
it was a Thursday night.
freaking Tonka trunk on.
It was a Thursday night, so I had to work the next day. And at the time, I didn't have a license because I'd gotten a DUI. So my dad was picking me up for work, and I'm like hungover as shit. I'm walking out the door, and the 2 girls were like right behind me. My dad's like, "Are you with them?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, he's looking at me. He's like, "You're with them?" Like, my dad rarely ever judges me. He was just like, those are those chicks.
I couldn't
You're
even
hungover.
tell
You're
you-
going to be a complete piece of shit at work and hungover today for that.
What kind of mandatory
I couldn't even tell you what they looked like. I just know that they were large and in charge. And
Large
I came straight out of blackout. I mean, this was when they had $2 Jaeger bombs at Lodo
Have you
for
ever
like
have you
an
ever-
hour straight. We were getting fucked up.
Dude, you could get fucked up for $20. It
Yeah.
was you could get a Long Island iced tea, a Bud
Yeah,
Light, and a
$2
Jaeger
Long
bomb
Island
for
iced
$5.
tea.
It was $5.
Yeah.
It was they were dollar Bud Lights, $2, and they were real Long Island iced teas. They were
Yeah.
like pre-mixed. They were like mixing them in front of you, and a Jaeger. So you could for $5 you could get that. You
And we were going all the fucking time. So our Long Islands were.
yeah. And so
pretty
you
strong.
would use your card that had no money on it because I was broke. But then I'd have a $20 bill in my pocket with like 3 ones. So I'm like, all right, get the thing, and then I just give them cash at the end and give them $3 tip. For $20, I'm getting loaded and then I could buy a giant bottle of like grape, disgusting vodka.
No, we were buying Crown.
Crown was a deal, but for a while I was on the 3 Olives grape vodka because
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
liquor store
Yeah,
it's not there
I
anymore.
remember.
But they had a deal and it was like $20 for like a big ass one. That walk to the liquor store was a little sketchy because it was
remember.
mostly industrial, but
I
there
would
was
go with
homeless
you.
people. That you'd get it would be
the
all
time.
sketchy people.
No problem.
We would go.
But it was scary.
It was
Well, I do it by
weird.
myself. It wasn't great.
Didn't feel
But-
good.
There was
Yeah.
one time I got a Keystone 30 or whatever, and there was a
30
bunch of
Jack.
a bunch of dudes hanging out outside, like, "Yo, brother, can I get one of those beers?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I opened it. Next thing, I just see like 15 hands reach in, and like 10 of my beers are gone, and I'm just like, they're like, "Thanks, bro." And I was like, "Fuck." I just-
You just got robbed
Yeah.
for like half your
Gotcha.
beer.
but I didn't want to say no.
You remember homeless, the hot dogs for America?
Yeah.
Dude, one time we had our cameraman buddy with us, and we were downtown, and Kyle just bought like all of the hot dogs left on this fucking vendor. So he gets like 30 hot dogs, and because they were just about to close up, and he's just like, "How much for the rest of your hot dogs?"
It's
And
like
he's
$20,
Yeah,
right?
here you go, take them all. And so we're just like, hot dogs for fucking something. and
Hot dogs for America, kid.
Something hot dogs for something and hot dogs for America, and we're just like singing it and just like hammered drunk. And then we're like, "What are we gonna do with all these hot dogs?" And he's like, "Let's bring them to the
We
homeless."
ended up by like the rescue mission.
So we go to like the real homeless area, and like our buddies we're like, film us. That way we could like get famous off. We were just so drunk, nothing made sense. And so we go over and we have these hot dogs and we're like distributing them to the homeless people like we're Oprah fucking Winfrey, dude.
You get a hot dog.
Yeah.
You
And
get a
at
hot dog.
first, it was okay. They were like, "Nice hot dogs. We like hot dogs. We're
Hot dogs are
hungry."
dope, yeah.
And then somebody twisted this narrative, like, "What's wrong with these hot dogs? Why are you filming us?" We're like, no, like the hot dogs are fine. I would never do that. And then we had a mob of homeless people who turned on us.
Yeah, they were just like they're
poisoning us or they're pranking us.
they're mocking us. Yeah, and we were just
Like, "I'll eat one in front of you. I swear they're good."
we had to get out.
We just ran.
Quick, yeah,
Man, I wish I could.
Why didn't
I,
you just eat a hot dog? Like, look, they're good.
yeah, dude.
I'm also trying to
Fake
rationalize
idiot.
people
Just
that drunk. And I mean, it was
be-
at this point. It
I would
wasn't
have,
even
if I
like
was
2
drunk,
a.m., it
I
was like
definitely
4
would have been
a.m.
like, hey, they're fine, dude. Oh,
You're also trying to rationalize with people that live in like this is before tents. They're like
that.
on the street, like in cardboard boxes. This is before like tent cities and shit, dude.
Yeah, there was no tent city. They would just like sit.
I wanted to buy Elitch's is pretty gnarly.
Dude,
Dude, there's ones around here
everywhere,
that are so
bro.
bad.
Yeah,
Nuts.
It's rough.
and then they'll clean it, and then they'll just move their tents.
Dude, across the
elsewhere.
street, like it's literally like they like, okay, they're out of here. And then like they're just leave them there because they're just right there. It was when they were in that little fenced off area, it made the most sense.
Yeah.
It was like literally like a corner of a street, and it was fenced on one side and then fenced on the other. So it was like a fenced in little anarchist Dave Smith, beautiful city of
Libertarian.
anarchism, libertarian dream, right there. It
was nice.
and they probably were self-governed. And if like occasionally you probably had to like go clear a body or
someone
something.
gets stabbed.
Oh yeah, there's a dead guy, and you got to clear him out. And they were just kind of there, and then they move them, and then there's just like another one across the street that's way less regulated, out in the open. It's like it was kind of nice when it was fenced. And I get that you just that doesn't work really well, but it seemed to work better.
It seemed to work just fine. And then as soon as they like walled it off and they're like, okay, we're going to put a guard in here, make sure nobody can get in here. Then they didn't have like a centralized place to go, and they just like spread all across the city. It's really crazy.
It's like, just leave them there. It's like Skid Row. It doesn't look good. It's terrible. And you don't really want to think about it.
But you know where they all are.
But
They don't,
you just need
though.
to get a spot for them, you know?
Kind of. Like, I guess the La Quinta Inn down there is like...
They're not gonna work unless they want to.
They might.
They'll figure it out when they want to, or they'll die. That's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
You're kind of better off just leaving them a space, though, where they can do that.
If you give them a space where they could thrive and maybe enter back in, like they can create their own little jobs with
they're gonna have
themselves,
to
and
get
then
out,
they can all die of meth in their own little areas.
Just if you want to be a homeless person who does meth, you have that right, in my opinion.
Sure.
Right.
If you leave them in an area, the only place that they're committing crimes, for the most part, is in that area against each other. When you start to integrate parts of them into society now, regular civilized people who don't want a part of that are now like falling victim to the crime. I guess they're going to have to go commit crimes anywhere, but it seems somewhat self-governed over there. It really did. It seemed like I didn't
Just
like
get a job.
It was scary. Just get a job.
This guy was asking for money. And you know what I'm talking about. This guy was asking for money, and some guy comes up to him and he goes, "Get a job, you bum." This guy was wearing his underwear outside of his pants. I don't think his resume's all up to snuff. I'm pretty sure even McDonald's has a wear your underwear inside the pants policy. Not that they enforce it very strictly, but technically, I think
It's on the books.
Who's that?
Greg
You
Giraldo.
don't know that?
Is that Greg Giraldo? That's fun. That's a
Lazy
good one.
Boy.
Yeah.
Lazy Boy, yeah.
Great.
That whole song.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It still rings true.
Yeah.
The whole
Should prostitution be legal?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Should.
Isn't
It's regulated and legal.
I'm curious about Graham's take on that. What do you think about prostitution? Do you
he's
think it
pro
should be legal?
prostitution, I think.
Because
Why
you see yourself as a conservative.
Huh?
That's why I'm asking.
You
It's
see
just like,
yourself as a
You're
conservative.
a little bit more.
I mean,
on that side.
I'm like in the middle.
Were you conservative and then you moved to Florida and you're like, all right, the conservatives might be a little wacky too.
No,
Maybe I should come back to the middle. a
No,
little.
everyone's crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Did you feel that way before Florida, or like
Yeah.
when you were
No, I was
here and
always-
you're like dealing with like
I'm-
the liberal
No,
side
I'm
of
always
things?
in the middle. I think Colorado is way too liberal for sure. Like I agree with that 100%. But at the same time, Florida's way too to the right, and then California is too liberal too. Like I don't.
What's the perfect state?
There's no perfect state.
Honestly,
Kansas.
dude, Austin is pretty good, bro. Austin, the city of Austin, because you have a red state with like a blue city, so you have some of the progressive stuff where
Yeah, but Tampa has that too. I mean, you have like,
Most
the
cities.
most cities
Yeah, most
like
big
they have
cities.
like Ybor City where that's where like the liberals live and
Yeah.
the
But
Dems and stuff like that.
in Austin, it seems to be they seem to still be like they don't take a bunch of stupid shit. It's like it's pretty common sense. It's like a sensible place to me when I'm there. Like, okay, everybody's like kind of okay with progressive things, but it's also like kind of keep them to yourself. Like if you want to be whatever, but like
yeah, but progressive is one thing, but being completely fucking crazy and like stop. Like
they're not stopping.
I know.
I think people misconstrue.
gonna get
I
worse.
know.
Like,
But it's one of those things. Just stop. Like if you're gonna let this happen, well then you're just opening a floodgate of other things that can happen that it probably gonna happen.
Exactly, you have to draw the line.
Yeah, you have to
somewhere.
draw the line someplace,
and they don't.
They don't.
Liberals don't seem to.
But like, where does it lead? Because I agree that like progressivism has been bastardized into this thing where it's just like you have to accept everybody.
I'm a Pokemon.
We have to. Yeah, who cares?
No, you are.
Like people
You are whatever you want to be.
People used to think you're like they
Truly,
were
though, in your
juggalos.
day-to-day life, how often, even when you lived in Denver, was there like some blue-haired liberal making your life shitty? Like how often did that actually happen? How often was there like a trans person screaming at you in your face about like stuff? Like you see the protest, sure, because like emotions get going, and then you have.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. I don't care. Like be who you want to be and be. It doesn't affect my life.
I just don't think it's as bad actually in reality as it's made to seem.
I don't either.
But I think, but the problem is, I get making it normalizing it. That's completely fine.
Don't quit pushing
but
it.
No, but not even pushing it. But just if you normalize it, these kids see that, and then they want to be. Well, they're normalizing it. That's cool. Well, I want to be like that, and it turns into a fad, and then
It
then
dies
it's something
out.
you can't turn back
Exactly,
from.
but if you're
There's
a
multiple-
good parent and you teach your kids strong
Yeah.
critical thinking skills, they're going to go through phases no matter what.
yeah,
and they're going to come out of it correctly. Just like I was gothic for a while. Not gothic now.
Kids are weird.
I liked ICP and was maybe partially a juggalo for a little bit.
Yeah, but kids
Not a
are
juggalo now.
kids are kids. Like I get it. Like there are some people that are born and they're like, I am a
Absolutely.
woman. I
And-
totally understand that.
But I just think a lot of times adolescence is strange, and you're misguided and you don't fit in anywhere, and then you find a group that's understanding, and then they probably like, you should be something, they might push you into that, and then you're like that for a couple years. You make some embarrassing Facebook posts, and then you grow up and you're like, oh fuck, I got to get a job and go to college, and like,
Thank God our awkward stages weren't documented, bro.
Thank God.
Holy shit.
At
dude.
least
But it's like Florida. Like they.
I mean,
like,
they kind of were, but MySpace is really
Later.
tough to get.
you can't even get
into.
on
Can't even
MySpace.
get it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's down.
It's gone
I
now.
think they won't even let you.
But like Florida, like they're so to the right where it's like we don't want teachers talking about that kind of stuff or sex ed. We don't want to teach sex ed at the
That's how
7th,
people
8th
grow up
grade.
misinformed.
No, but it's
What happened? Because it seemed okay for us. Maybe it's okay for them, and we just haven't seen. Like the jury's still out.
but like there's people that like a coworker I had had a talk with him and he's super Republican. I'm in the middle. I believe certain things on both left and right. But like he's like that should be the parents' job. I'm like, yes, I understand that. But at the same time, in school, you need to bring up the issues of this is okay if,
Some kids don't have parents.
if you're trans or gay or whatever. Like, it's fine. You have to introduce that to make it, because it's normalized now. But if you don't introduce that at all, they're just going to grow up being racist and fucking whatever you want, sexist, whatever. Like, you have to bring it in to make it normalized for kids, but you don't want to push it.
Like I think yeah, like a lot of what like schools do is they try to help integrate
integrate
people.
it, yes.
So like, but I think the where it's misconstrued is when people see that integration and they see it as like an attack on their values. And it's like it's not an attack on your values.
Or
It's
it's
just
like,
trying to let you know that other
there-
people that have different ideas about things exist as well.
It's like,
and you have to live in the society with them.
It's like that group of people are getting all this attention. I want that attention. I'm a kid. I want attention too. I want to be that
Right.
cool.
It is-
cool,
But when
inspirational
you have
person.
like 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds that have transitioned into a different sex and now they don't want to be that sex anymore.
Okay, legitimately, how often is that happening? For
It's happening a lot now.
But
it's
like,
happening quite a
Is
bit.
it,
I
or
wanna
is it,
see
does
the-
it
I wanna
happen?
see the
Has it
statistics.
happened 30 times?
I would like to see
Is
the
30
statistics
an
on it
overwhelming
too.
amount?
But if 100 people or if 100 children have done it and 25 of them want to reverse it, that's too high of a
Agreed.
that's too high
Absolutely.
of a percentage.
Look, oh, we all
But
agree.
it
I think
needs
I
to be-
think
you have to be
every
18.
rational human being on the planet agrees that we shouldn't let anybody under the age of 18 mutilate their
But they
body in a
are.
way that's
But they are.
irreforcible.
No, like
Okay, but I'm saying, but
are
how
they?
many?
All
Because I hear
these
this,
woke parents that let
but
their
do you
kids
know
be
them?
whatever they want to be.
That's what I mean. Just like, do you know any?
Right. It's because it's.
Do you know
because
anybody personally?
It's like when you were talking about like the police murders, right? You hear about the police murder and you're like, this is happening all the time. I think it's the same thing with that. It shouldn't happen once. I agree with you. I'm with you on that. I just don't think it's like a big. I think we're making a mountain out of a molehill.
Exactly.
is what I
I
always
think,
say.
dude, there's other things that like.
It's different when you have.
There's
children,
other
though,
things that
because
happen to kids
children's
that
are
should never happen to
impressionable.
kids that happen sometimes, right? And
Right.
that's really fucked up, and that's like Munchausen almost at that point. Like, you just want your kid to get a sex change so you can be like the most woke parent.
Right.
But I just don't think that's happening as much, or even honestly at all. I would like to see some statistics, and I haven't seen any. Nobody's ever been shown me an actual
Right.
statistic of how many.
I don't even know what
minors
the
have had a
statistic
sex
is.
change.
Yeah, like
I
there
think
could
it
be
just-
only 100 in the whole country.
I think
that
Joe
have ever
Rogan
done
heard
it.
a story about his friend's wife who works at a school who one of the kids did that. And then he says it and a million people hear it. And now it sounds like a million kids have had their sex.
Because that's the thing is it's like it's such an emotionally charged issue because and completely understandably so. Like I totally get it, but because it's such an emotionally charged issue, sometimes we don't like take a step back and say what's the prevalence here? How is it? How much is it? Where is it happening? How can we stop it? Rather than just being like, it's happening all the time, everywhere, and it's a systemic issue in society.
Exactly. I see
Because it's
division.
so emotional.
You get into any comment section on Instagram and there's a ton of division. And then I go about my life day to day and there's tons of people I interact with who have different views than me. And it's never like this callous, malicious attack on each other. It's pretty civil. I think in reality, in actual
but that's-
human interactions,
but
people
When you're behind
tend
a
to be
keyboard,
Yeah,
it's
but
a
that-
lot
fairly
different.
simple.
No, but it's also different when you live in a state that's liberal. In Florida, like I don't care if you're fucking purple, blue, orange, boy, girl, whatever. I will talk to you. I will treat you like a human. But like, I see it at work all the time where a customer walks in. Oh, they're same-sex couple. I don't want to help them out. Fuck it, I'll help them out. They're people. I don't care.
Especially as a salesperson. Like,
I don't care. Like, I don't care. That's not affecting my fucking life.
No.
I don't give a shit.
That's somebody who's projecting and insecure. Like, oh my God, there's a gay guy over there. What if I fuck him on accident? If I walk over there,
right.
Oh God,
what am I gonna? If I
butt.
go breathe his oxygen, am I gonna become gay too?
Yeah,
Like, if you're worried about that, you've got some really
Yeah.
deep soul searching to do. Yeah.
But there's people out there like that, and it's.
I mean, it's like if the person was aggressively hitting on you or something, it gets uncomfortable. Like, I've been pursued by a gay guy before, and it's like, you tell them to stop, and then sometimes they keep coming. The same way women have to deal with it all the time because men are just aggressive. It is annoying. But at the same time, like, most dudes aren't like that. Like, that's happened twice in my life.
Kyle got hit on the other day, but it wasn't like overt. Meow Wolf.
I couldn't figure it out. At first, I was like, oh, this dude's pretty cool. And then I was like, wait, everybody here is kind of gay. And then I was looking at the shirt I was wearing. I'm like, fuck, I'm kind of gay right now. Damn it, I fit right in. It's like, it's not like I'm giving off the straight vibes right now. I have like this like tight black shirt on, and I'm just like fucking trying to have fun at this like weird concert.
But it's like, it's even to the point where like,
And I couldn't be mad at the guy.
like, you know how we all joke about like,
it's like wearing
you
a
know-
shirt. I like it in the ass, and the guy's like, "Do you like it in the ass?" I'm like, "How dare you?"
no, it's like how we all joke around, like, you know, like we're all boys, we're close. So there's times where it's like people are probably like, man, they're kind of a little gay. Like,
Are you
for
even
each
good
other.
friends if you're not a little gay with each other?
Yeah.
Like-
but there's people out there like in other states that are just like, no,
Well, because they're
nobody
afraid
can
that
do
they
that.
might
Nope,
actually have,
nope,
like, 'cause
nope.
I think deep down inside they have some closeted gay thoughts, and they're like, "What if I like it? What if I actually like kissing that guy? Or what if I, you know?"
It's like we're all animals, right?
I've made it.
We've all seen like boy dogs hump boy dogs, girl dogs hump girl dogs. Like it's nature.
It is.
like,
Yeah. It's quite
like-
literally like.
I don't like lesbian porn. Like, I have to see a dude having sex with a chick to enjoy the porn.
Yeah.
You can't get it because you can't. You have to put.
Isn't that
yourself
how
in
the
a position
Tiger
of
King
a-
got
Yeah,
his?
yeah. You have to
got his
visualize
guys?
it.
Isn't that how the Tiger King got his guys?
How was that?
It's just showing him porn or something.
Well,
like
no, he would turn his. That's how he would get his guys to like come home with him and stuff. He'd be like, "Oh, you're only straight, huh? So when you watch porn, you only watch two women together."
that. That's funny.
And then he'd be like, "No, well, no." And, oh,
But those
so you just watched a woman by herself.
But those
Well,
dudes
no.
were probably gay.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go home with the dude, knowing that like sex stuff might happen,
right.
you might be gay. And then he also preyed on people that were like needed like money and
Yeah,
things.
needed
And he
money
gave
and
them it's
stuff.
like this guy might be a little gay, but he's just really down on his luck too.
It's crazy how he got turned into a hero just because like he was such an interesting character that we all wanted to like him, but like
He really probably
he
was
was
a piece of shit.
kind of a bad dude.
Yeah.
Like, when you think about it, it's like,
Right.
fuck, dude.
God,
but
that
if-
was it. That was like one of the best parts of COVID.
COVID was-
Tiger King. It really was because we were all locked in our houses, but we could fucking bond over,
Over
this
Tiger
like,
King.
hot Tiger King.
But
it was
it-
great.
But it's crazy though. Like
I never finished it.
I mean, you got the gist of it.
pretty much everyone here's lived in Colorado for most of their lives, and maybe outside of state a little bit here and there when you're younger. But for the most part, we've all lived here in Colorado. That's what we know. Like, you really don't know the other states and stuff until you actually are like the differences between state to state until you live in a different state. Like, it was like shell shocking for me. I'm like, holy shit, like this is crazy. Like it didn't bug me that much, but it was just like, holy shit, like I could actually see the fucking difference between like a liberal state and a fucking red state.
And that's why
Like, it's crazy.
If
you know,
I gathered-
obviously I didn't experience it as an adult, but I lived in probably 5 different states before I even lived here.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but as an adult though, you actually can see the differences and see where the lines are and
I
stuff
think
like
That's
that.
that's what
Takeaway
scarred
there-
me from wanting to move anywhere else. I'll
but-
be completely
but
honest with you.
But so obviously you're in Colorado, like you're telling me that Colorado hasn't changed from
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, it's completely like it's almost to the point where
But
it's
also,
too
I've
liberal.
changed it too.
Oh, yeah.
And my like the older I get, a little
all the
bit more
Californian-
conservative I tend
It
to
is.
be. It is. You have a lot of liberal money moving here,
Yes.
manipulating laws and dynamics. I think the takeaway from what Graham just said is you should probably live in different places and travel and experience different cultures, so you have a better idea of what reality really is besides your little bubble wherever you are.
Like for
your
real,
little Facebook groups where you guys just talk shit about whatever group you guys equally dislike together. It's like, maybe go hang out with those people.
No, like it's crazy.
Maybe go
so
live
like,
in a different state where the views are different, and then be like, oh, is this worse? Is this better? And then it might be one of those two things, but like, go experience it for yourself rather than just listening to it.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Like Tiffany, obviously I'm Asian and she's white.
You are?
What?
Yeah.
And I've never,
But
I don't see.
I'm out of here.
But it's crazy because, you know, our coworkers are like, oh, let me see a picture of your son. Obviously, my son looks just like me, Asian. And they're like, oh, we didn't know you were the Asian person. And they think I'm like straight off the boat of fucking Korea, not knowing any English and like math and technology and shit. I'm like,
I'm the opposite of all of those things.
And Tiffany's like, no, he's complete opposite. He's
terrible.
Yeah, this guy's an idiot. First of all, he barely speaks English. But that's not because he's from another country.
But it's like, it's crazy. I'm like, what the really? Like, I can't. Like,
Florida might be a special place though.
But it's weird though because it's like pockets of like Florida are like that. But then there's other pockets of Florida that are liberal.
But those are the cities.
Miami is pretty
liberal.
But that's because Florida's obviously on the East Coast. So you get more East Coast people moving down to Florida because it's closer and it's warmer.
And they're sick of New York.
Yeah. So then you get more red people, and then obviously people from Colorado are moving down there. So you get the liberals from Colorado moving down there, and it's one of those, like, my mom's old neighbors when she lived here were gay, and they moved to Florida or visited Florida. And my mom was talking like, oh, how did you like Florida? They're like, it's literally like going in time machine 10 years ago. And it's true. Like, it's wild to me. It blows my mind. I'm like, why?
And it'll maybe catch up.
Yeah, it'll catch up at some point, but...
Well, that's why they call it progressivism.
Yeah.
I think the root of the word progressive makes sense, right? Like, that's what we should try to strive for because you're progressing, right?
But there's also things that we've done right that we should keep. Like, there's things that work, and you should probably keep the things that work. But then some things work for some people. We need to
find a word for like that mixed with like progress in the good areas.
But what the thing needs to be is media needs to stop pushing things so hard to where it's like so in your face.
But that falls on us as people to stop clicking on the shit and stop engaging in the shit, right?
Yeah, but you get
sucked in. Do you know how many times I've been like typing out something to like reply to a comment on Instagram, and I get halfway through and I'm like, what are you doing? Stop this. Like, this is what is this getting you? Like, you might post it and then 30 people will like it, or, you know, I've had comments that have gotten thousands of likes, like 1,000 people will agree with you. Like, but that doesn't do anything. You're just contributing to the division. And that seems to be the biggest issue, is that everybody feels divided. And the funny thing is people are divided on one thing and then together on one thing, and then you have like flat earthers that can't even agree on why the government is telling us that the earth is round. Like, they all have different, like, they all think the earth is flat, but they all have absolutely different like reasons for it being flat.
Well, one is the firmament, right?
Which is like,
that's what we have. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean that it's true. Like, the earth is flat, but they just the reasons like if you go to a flat earth convention and you ask all of them what the government's reasoning for the earth being flat is, or like lying about it, they'll all have completely different answers. And it's like, okay, you guys, you can agree that you hate something, but you can't even agree why.
Right.
That's why conspiracies, like the ones that make the most sense are the ones where like people kind of all agree on like what probably happened, and like JFK, stuff like that, right? Probably it was a conspiracy, and we all kind of have a general idea of what happened. But when it's like shit like the earth is flat, or those types of conspiracies when everybody else has a different conclusion or answer, that you can probably just dismiss as bullshit. That's how you know like what a good conspiracy is like how
the consensus
is
pretty conformed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty like, okay, this all makes sense. We don't know the exact details, but it seems like the CIA was involved, and then the earth is flat. Okay,
yeah, but the problem is like they have those algorithms now. So if you're watching whatever video about the earth is flat, well, more videos are going to pop up.
Yeah,
and then it's so funny. I had that in my algorithm for a little bit.
Then you get sucked in, and it's like almost like probably a bad reference, but it's almost like the Nazis. Like, you get told so many times that Jews are bad, and then it's like, Jews are bad.
It's
like,
a hive mind. You get the hive mind, right?
Yeah.
You have and then it's very easy. That's
brainwashed.
all you're seeing.
It's propaganda just on your phone, just through Instagram stuff like that.
I have to
TikTok.
actively like see things that I want to engage in that I know are bad for me. And go, click out of that quick.
But people
like, make the algorithm think that you don't care about.
But with
anymore.
Social media is making people not be able to think for themselves and be sheep.
Critical thinking.
Yeah, it's out the window now. Like it's like, oh well, everyone
now it's all about
this. Like,
pick a tribe and stick with it, and then maybe switch tribes when it feels right.
And then you got the younger generation that's just like pushing like super liberal stuff because that's just what they grew up knowing. And like,
I mean, I think young people tend to be progressive and older people tend to be conservative.
But I don't
think
think we're that progressive. Like our generation,
I was like much more liberal back then than I am today.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks different now, right? Our liberalism was like fighting for legalization of weed and, gay rights. Now the gays have rights, so now it's whatever the next oppressed community is.
Yeah.
Whether or not how oppressed they are, I think gets a little bit clouded.
Well, I think that's why, like, especially you see progressivism happening in the wealthy circles of today's society because we have solved a lot of problems or at least made a lot of progress. So now they're just like, well, the next step towards progressivism is economically, and they have all of the money. Because you look at like who's liberal, it's like a lot of very wealthy people in like cities who've like gentrified the whole fucking area, and they don't want to talk about economics because then that could potentially bring their wealth level down a little bit. And so they talk about the social issues, and they're just like, you just need to like support trans people and black people. And it's like, obviously, but that's not the only issue, but they want it to be the only issue. Because if you start talking economics, then all of a sudden they're conservative.
Yep.
Right.
Like me it's hilarious. Like, and the way that like
I think it's pretty simple. Treat everybody the same.
Yeah, but
and you look at like the hippie movement,
for the people
right?
that are beneath you.
Look at the hippie movement in like the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
the people in the 60s and 70s, like the hippies that were like the liberal progressives, now we're all old and have money and have like kind of made this weird flip to conservatism, and it's just like this weird dynamic. There's been this weird paradigm shift between conservatives where like now conservatives are anti-war and the progressives are like a little bit more war leaning. When did that happen? I thought the progressives were all like peace and harmony, and now they're kind of leaning towards like supporting wars, and the conservatives ones like we need to pull back. Like, when the hell did this happen? And it makes sense because the hippies all didn't have any money in their 20s, and then they made money in their 30s and bought stuff, and now inflation's happened and they're rich, and they're like, well, I don't want to lose my money.
Yeah,
nobody actually wants to give away their money. It's like
the war thing is just propaganda. If
generally speaking,
I mean, if a Republican was in office right now and the wars were going on, the sides would be flipped. The liberals would be against the war and the Republicans would be for the wars. It's literally just, what does my tribe think? Okay, that's what I think. That's why, like, how are you going to label yourself a thing, a Democrat, a Republican, or anything? And then you're just, if you label yourself that, then does that mean you're supposed to support everything the tribe supports? Because what if you don't? Does that make you a worse Republican or a worse Democrat? Like, why would you even label yourself? It's so bizarre.
Right. I think people put too much.
And it's like you're forced to pick a tribe because, like, how many people are going to vote for one of the candidates, not because they like that candidate, but because they dislike the other one?
Right.
That seems so fucked up because you're never going to actually see any change because that's perfect for them. They don't care why you vote for them as long as you vote.
How about this? How about we stop having presidents that are 80 years old? Maybe a president that's 40, maybe.
Well, think about the people that vote in the primaries. Stuff like that. It's going to be overwhelmingly the older generation. And so if you're Gen X and the boomers and you're voting way more than the younger people, then they're going to be like propping those people up in the primaries. So, and then you think about us, right? It's kind of difficult. It's like you can do it, but it's kind of difficult to look at somebody younger than you and be like, that's the right person for the job. So we have this arrogance about ourselves where we're just like, well, we know so much more than that person because I remember being that age. So we want to support someone that's older than us. So if everybody voting is like average age 50 or 55, they're going to be voting for older people. So it's like, I think that's why we're getting these fucking geriatrics.
What's the average age in Congress in general?
Like 1 billion?
Exactly.
75.
Because there's no term limit. So they just keep getting older and keeping their jobs. And the older they get, the more secure their job gets because of, like, they're just really good at manipulating the system in their favor. And it's a hard system to break. Speaking of which,
we should probably fucking
tie this up.
Yeah, just because we got to bounce,
Yeah,
and then
Graham, you should shut up, dude.
Yeah, you talked way too much.
Yeah, just really quickly though, I just wanted to like express my gratitude for you guys both coming on. Welcome to Colorado, and then good bon voyage as well. Like, have a safe flight back or whatever.
What do you mean, welcome to Colorado?
Yeah, dude, whatever.
You're a Floridian.
Yeah, you're Floridian now. You've been there long enough that you're.
You've been there over a year.
How do you identify?
Yeah.
Are you a she, they?
No, I'm a they, them,
Cis male
liberal.
Colorado liberal?
Yeah.
Is that how you identify?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Do you identify
Do you think
as
that's
Asian?
okay that
No.
he can identify as a Coloradan still? I don't think so.
When you see
I think
other
you can kick him
Asians,
out.
do you go, that's my tribe?
No, I don't fucking care what color.
No, you remember
Look
the
at our fucking group. Look at our friend group.
Yeah, the magic.
We're all,
We are pretty.
No
yeah,
blacks.
We're all integrated pretty well.
The magic.
Wow.
The Magic the Gathering kids.
Wow.
We're all Asian.
Did you say no
Graham-
blacks?
Wow.
I'm serious.
Wow.
They didn't grow up.
Yeah.
Where were they?
You remember the Magic the Gathering kids? Like Graham would see them and just be like these slanty-eyed bastards. Like, just walk by them like losers. No, I'm just kidding.
It was so funny in high school how stereotypic the Asians were,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah,
They
that's
were
why,
like, good
Except
at
for
math,
Graham.
And then they all drove like
Yeah.
Hondas with like the loud buffers.
But that's the thing, though. Like, I was adopted. Like, of course, I'm gonna be different because I was raised by my parents. Like, if any kid's raised by another culture, they're gonna be more like that culture. It doesn't matter.
we were
What color
we
skin
really
or
don't have time
anything
to
you
get
are.
into it. But we were talking about like nature versus nurture
Yeah.
and like how much of you are the way you are because of like your genetics.
Yeah.
But then being adopted, like you really do show a lot of your parents in you.
Yeah.
Which shows that nurture seems to be just as important as nature.
Yeah,
But then there's other like you hear other stories about like. Do you feel like you and your sisters are a lot alike,
as far as
just personality wise?
no, we're all different. Because again, you have to remember, I'm like 6 years older than my sisters, so I had, we had time where we're closer. But then once I became a teenager, I was like, I don't want to I want to live my own life. I want to figure out who I am. So I wasn't as close with them. They're more like each other than I am.
But one's or introverted, right? And then one is like more in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I think a lot of
Well,
it.
no, Sydney's a extrovert for sure.
See,
Like,
they're
she's-
on the polar opposite end of the spectrum, and I don't think there's any amount for extroversion and introversion. I don't really think there's any amount of like training you can do to
No.
get out of your base self.
No, like Emery is just like me. He's very shy, quiet. Like he'll be fine once he gets to know you, but then if you came and met Emery, he'd be like, who's this guy? I don't want to talk to him.
You think he'd remember me?
No,
He'd be that like that again?
no, yeah, exactly. Like
He wasn't, but it only took about
Yeah.
a day,
But-
and then he's coming up to you.
That's how I am with you though, a little bit. I
Because you're
I
still
get
the
the
size
egg.
of a baby.
I get the egg with you a little bit.
Yeah, well, that'll happen.
It's that fucking hair. No, I like
Silent
it. I'm
Bob,
jealous.
baby.
I saw.
It's great hair.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, thank
super
you.
envious.
Yeah,
legitimately.
it's good hair.
But
I
you
hate
do
it.
look like Silent
I think
Bob.
you should
My
cut
wife
it.
hates it.
I think you should cut it.
Does that make you
Looks
want to
good.
keep it more or less?
Yeah,
That's
way more, dude.
Why didn't you grow it out when you were young? I'm sorry.
That's such a.
I couldn't get through the second awkward phase.
Yeah, I never. did.
Like
face is-
this, I don't know. Like this is the longest I can remember any of us having our hair. Even
you should see my brothers right now. It's,
Yeah, you were telling me it's
full
way
Jesus,
long.
bro. It's hilarious.
Like, dude, my
But yours, when you had it, your mullet, it only came down to like
Not
your
even,
neck, right?
Not even.
So
Maybe. It
was pretty
I
long
could put a
in the
hat
back.
on and it would go.
But you got the Jufro that
well, my hair
looks
changed.
really, really
my
good.
hair changed when I hit puberty. Actually,
Did
it
it?
got a lot more wavy and curly.
Your hair's so cool. Like I'm envious of the waves because I don't have
Yeah,
those.
it's not.
No, your hair's you got the goat.
Wait,
I
waves
wish
are-
I had your hair.
I have options, which is nice because I have volume, so I can do stuff with it. But it's unruly, and I wear a hat a lot.
Graham cut his hair recently.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just think that goes to show people with curly hair like straight hair, and people with straight hair like curly hair.
That's
Want
always
what you can't have.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. That's what it is.
That's why
That's all
gay
it
guys
is.
like straight guys and straight guys like gay guys.
Yeah.
Or wait, no.
Is that true, Graham? You're the only
I
straight guy here.
was the one who said that. Kyle said that. That's a Kyle thing.
We're just asking if you like straight guys. That's all.
Well, duh.
you gotta
Because
stay.
we're all gay here.
I just
Duh.
I don't want to alienate.
Can we
like-
can we end this so we could go?
I don't-
Yeah, we gotta go top
I'm
golf.
just trying to say sexually
Wait,
ambiguous.
Can we end this so we could go dock each other, please?
That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. Dock station.
You have like a boing.
If you know what docking means, it means you're gay.
Yeah.
Fun. Hold up. Anyway.
Oh, do the yeah.